Oh man, are we live? We're live now. All right, cool. We are live, guys. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. This quarter is gonna be absolutely the quarter that I think is a turning point for Tesla. But thank you guys for coming. Welcome everybody, and it's gonna be an absolutely a sheesh time. I came here a little bit earlier because I heard that apparently, the earnings is gonna be dropped earlier than usual. So we got to come on here earlier as usual as well. So, welcome, guys. How are you all feeling? Hope you guys are having an awesome time. And we're about to get this party started. And again, guys, this quarter, Q2, is going to be. I don't know why I got these on right now, but this quarter is going to be the quarter, is the reason or the turning point for Tesla in terms of operating margin. I think we're going to see a good surprise in operating margin. I think we are going to see some good surprise ziz. Energy will be definitely one of them. I think it's already being priced in and stuff. But just overall, when it comes to earnings call, I'm actually more excited than the earnings call because if you guys been in, if you guys follow this Tesla story or the stock and stuff like that, you guys know that the earnings doesn't really do much to the Tesla to the stock. Is what happens in the earnings call, and we can go back to Q1 to confirm that because in Q1 nobody when they were when there was a miss, the stock didn't really go down. It went down like what 2%. It wasn't until the earnings call, and it was a big miss, right? It wasn't until the earnings call where it was a really good earnings call, and then all of a sudden, stock freaking skyrocketed. All right, so I think earnings is coming in what, like in 15 minutes. So let's chill for 5 minutes. I wanna talk to you guys for a little bit. How are you all feeling? How are y'all feeling? All right, excited? Yeah. I'm pumped. I am pumped. Should I sell 247? Look, man, I don't know about this selling and timing the market. That ain't me. That ain't me. All I know is that in 10 years' time, we're gonna look down and look back in today's price and go like, why didn't I buy more? That's all I'm going. That's all I know. That's all I know. Really glad to see you. You got so much of your prediction correct after Q1. Can we please see a list of questions? Oh yeah, we will see a list of questions after the earnings. I have a whole thread of it in my X. We're definitely gonna go over it, and we do have time until the earnings call, which is around 5:30, right? Yeah, 5:30, or about 90 minutes from now, which is about 5:30. So we have time. We've got lots of time, guys. You don't have to rush that. Hi from Copenhagen. I get to say hi back from Toronto. Not quit right now, it's good stuff. 300, bro. I mean, 350 is my stock price target by end of this year. So let's see what happens, man. Right after market close. Yep, in 15 minutes. 50 minutes, guys. That's what's gonna happen. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Ross. Hello, Rock. 400. Let's flip and go. We got Takasega 530. I don't know what that is, dude, but cool. Hello, Peggy. What's going on? Trevor. Thank you later for what? Guys, Bilal, $200 play is the play. I don't know what that. Meow. I love cats, right? So, hi from London. All right, we got people from the UK. Just bought 12. Whoa, what was it? It just went away. There it is. Yeah, just bought 12,000 worth of stock today. That's crazy. What time is the Tesla call, and will you be streaming live? Yep, I'm here for the entire deal, the whole thing. Earnings call, earning report, explaining it down, looking down to it, all the way to earnings call. How was the drive with my brother? Bro, if you guys haven't watched that video with me showing my brother him driving a Tesla for the first time, you guys need to watch that. That was such an awesome video. In the beginning, he was just like, man, I don't know. And then at the end, he's just like, well, it's actually pretty nice. And I think we turned a doubter into a believer. So you guys should definitely check that out. I think it was like my last fourth or fifth video. It's called Tesla Doubter. My brother drives a Tesla for the first time, something like that. So yeah, good evening, everyone. Greetings from Germany. All right, welcome from Germany. Hello, happy to buy into a company that ship our future. That's so true. Stock is down. Yeah, it is. But it was up 5% yesterday, right, guys? We'll go over it in a bit. Just want to get to know you guys some more. All right, we've got after watching the interview with Elon yesterday, said that he's going to destroy the woke miners. I might just put every damn dime. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, this woke thing is getting a little serious. Like, guys, it's getting to a point where here in Toronto, some schools are bringing litter boxes because some of these students are saying and identifying themselves as cats. I didn't believe it at first until I actually saw some news articles and some receipts, and I'm like, what? Why would a school even allow like? So yeah, we gotta get rid of this woke mind virus. It's absolutely freaking just terrible. Like I was in shock, man. Hello from Belgium. Screw the shorts. Hell yeah, they can go to hell. Hello from. Oops, there we go. Screw the shorts. Yeah, Texas. What's going on? Hello, Daniela. If I didn't butcher your name. Hello from Puerto Rico. Nice. Hello from. Gotta hide that. All right. Hello from Jordan. Yo, I was just in the Middle East, man. Good stuff. I'll be going back in September though. Ugh, I know. Too hot. All right, Colin. Welcome back, brother. Love you, man. You're on every live session. I love it. I love you. Hello from Hawaii, Belgium. Good stuff, man. Very good. Short minds, bad results. Protest LA long term, I guess. I don't know. Hello from Orlando, Greenland. Oh my god, guys. Okay, guys. Woo. All right. I think I'm gonna dive into some fundamentals with you guys so we know what we are looking forward to when this earnings calls draw. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right now. And guys, smash that like button and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And if you guys are on X, why aren't you guys following me, man? Come on, we do a lot of juicy stuff here, mainly Tesla stuff, but other stuff too. All right. All right. Let me pull up my screen. Where did I go? Oh, I took myself off stage. How embarrassing. All right. Now we're here. So, stock. The stock right now is down nearly 2%. But it's not. Yesterday we were up like 5%, right? It's gonna adjust one thing quickly. Gotta make the quality much higher. There we go. So it's down about 1.7%. But again, yesterday was up. I mean, because we have this ghost order here of 305, which is, I don't know, is this a foreshadow, guys? We're gonna hit 305 soon. I don't know. But just a little here, we were up about like, where is it? Right here. Just yesterday, we were up about 5% or so. Yeah, 5.5%. So a little down. Doesn't really, doesn't matter. Guys, are you guys buying or not? Comment down below. I want to know if you guys are buying this stock or not, because I did buy yesterday, even though I said I'm done buying. But before earnings, this is gonna be a killer earnings. That's all I'm gonna say. That's why I had to buy. I mean, I could be wrong too, but I mean, all the data suggests it. I'll be shocked if I'm wrong, to be honest, right there. I've never been this confident with a quarterly result than now. All right, going to the Tesla estimates for Q2 non-GAAP. This is very important. We're supposed to beat 62 cents. Usually, I got my whiteboard here, but I don't have it, so we got to go with this. 62 cents we got to beat. And I want to pull up Roland's, because Roland, where's Roland? There he is. Yeah, he had a better chart. He made everyone and more people as well. So let's take a look. Shout out to Roland, man. He's a chart genius when it comes to all these things. So, and recently I just got added with AJ and Farzad. So that's a sheesh moment. I'm happy with that. But consensus is 62. I'm saying 63. Farzad did change it to 67, I believe. So she's not saying 95 cents, 67. James the Cat, he's saying 659. Gary Black, 63. And James the Cat, shout out to him, because he's usually on point with these things. And if he's on point with 59 cents and we do miss, well, I mean, it's gonna be a good quarter regardless. But I mean, come on, man, it's gotta be a beat, We have Troy. He updated today of 61 cents, so he's also saying it's a miss. Matt Smith, 59 cents. Larry Goldberg, 64 cents. Farzad, 67 cents, not 95 cents. AJ, 64 cents. And I am at 63 cents. So this is what we got to look forward to, guys. If we do beat 62 cents, and we'll go over it together. And again, if you guys are new to this live session that I do with earnings, I take my time going with this earnings report, all that kind of stuff. I do take my time. So let me see if they, well, no, market's not even closed yet, so it's not open yet. But yeah, just going through some stuff. But yeah, what are your EPS estimates? I see some of you guys are saying 73 cents, right? 95. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, Farzad, he did it all the way, like, weeks ago. So he had to update it today, which is 67 cents now. But yeah, comment down below. What are your EPS? What I'm looking forward to, guys. Like I did tweet this as well. Where is it? Where did I tweet it? Where did I tweet it? Where did I tweet it? Is it this one? No, it's not this one. It's this one right here. And you guys will see me doing some live tweets as well. So that's always exciting. You guys love it when I do that. So we're gonna do that for sure. What are you guys looking forward to mostly on Tesla's Q2 earnings? Mine is the FSD, guys. The FSD, the progression of it, the chart. If you guys watched my video yesterday, it's that little chart, how much data they've collected with the GPUs and miles collective. That is the most important chart. That's the most important chart. I don't care what anybody says. That is the most important chart. But also, of course, the robotaxi, all that kind of stuff. I did make a thread of all questions, and let me guys show you guys. Yeah, it's right here. That's strange. There's two, but there's no one. There it is. Well, I don't know why it's like that. But, these are the top requested questions. We got some time, so we can look it over this. For the earnings call, the first one is definitely going to be the robotaxi. When is that? I mean, when is, if it's not on 8/8, when is it? That is a very good question, because this is a very big deal, guys. Like, I am expecting some big bombshells coming from this. Some big bombshells coming from robotaxi. I mean, it just can't be, the event can't just be like, hey guys, here's a vehicle, go home. It just can't be like that, right? It's gonna be like, okay, here's a vehicle, here's our applications. The date of us rolling this out is gonna be this date and this date, and what the plan is. I think that's what's most important, in my opinion. So I think, and that's what I think. But so far, it looks like it has been delayed to maybe September or maybe even October, because Elon did say that we got to change some stuff with the car and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. It's fine. One or two delays days are not gonna matter. It doesn't really matter. We do know that this was a play by Elon when we had this rumor, when they said that the 25,000 Reuters came out, or rumors came out, and said that there's gonna be a a the not delayed, but they canceled a 25,000 compact car, which is just stupid. So he played this card saying that by 8/8 we're gonna do it. Now it's being delayed, which is fine. It's not a big deal if it's delayed, right? The most important part is that it's happening. That's the most important part. When do you expect the first robotaxi ride? Again, that's also going to be in the robotaxi event. Very, very important. And again, that's what I'm looking forward to in the event as well. What are Tesla's two biggest priority for the next 5 years? That's a good question as well, seeing where their head is at. I think one is definitely going to be autonomous driving, because the cars are just, Elon said it yesterday in the interview. They're pretty much cars. Sorry, they're pretty much, robots on wheels, right? They're autonomous cars. That's what they are. So, I mean, really, autonomous is for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them would be with the bot, but I think he'll just go back to the mission statement saying that we would just want to, transition the world to sustainable energy. But let's see what this will be. The fourth question is, what is the current status of 4680 battery cell production? How is the ramp up progress going? The last time I checked, the progress is actually better than expected, so that's good. I'm going to keep checking when the earnings will be out, and guys, keep a lookout for me when it comes out, because it's not out yet. I think it's going to come out in a couple minutes, but we'll keep going over this. Will Tesla Energy continue to see rapid growth in? Oh wow, why even ask this question? We know the answer to this question already. What a waste of question. But yes, 100%. We're getting the second Shanghai, or the second Megapack factory in Shanghai, and more to come. I do expect another Megapack location later on this year, within 6 months. Right? It doesn't mean they're gonna build it, but I do expect it. So hell yeah. I mean, I'm expecting maybe 8 Megapack factories by end of this decade, 6 at the least. So of course, this is just the beginning. Energy is just the beginning. Next one. When do you expect Optimus to be available for purchase? Again, I think this is I don't know. This is a wasteful question, man. I'll be honest, man. This is a wasteful question, because we know it's not going to happen at least for another 2 years, right? So yeah. Let's see. Here we go. The double W. Let's see. Let me see if there's going to be earnings or not. How did the stock end? Down 2%. Yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I didn't buy today though. I kind of wish I did, but again, I'm chilling right now. I bought too much. Number 7, what is the schedule for the Tesla van? I mean, again, oh my God, why are these questions? Like, look, let's get the robotaxi out first. Then we can talk about the van, right? I don't know. I think some of these questions are kind of wasteful. I don't know. Okay. All right, let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? What do you mean? Kairev, my boy. It's out. They reported a loss of $1 billion. Bro, what are you talking about? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Yo, come on. Where is it? What do you mean lost $1 billion? Where? Oh boy, stock's gonna crash, right? Oh, it didn't crash really. It's still no, it's still zero. What do you mean it's $1 billion, dude? What are you talking about? Let's go. Tesla, I've been buying and rounding up. Yep. Me too. But yo, Kairev, man. You flipping guy. You flipping guy, man. You got all of us a heart attack. There's no Oh my god. Nah, shout out to Kairev. He's an awesome guy. He's an awesome guy. I just wish he was a bit more I wish he was a bit more active in the Tesla community, man. But anyways, love you though. But dude, you scared the hell out of all of us, man. $1 billion. There's no way on earth Tesla would lose $1 billion. No way. They're positive for sure. Oh, look at these comments. Oh, I crapped my pants. Oh, I love it. I freaking kind of see what you did, man. See what you did. Oh my god. And this guy's no. No. He's playing around. Kairev is a good guy. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. All right, guys. Let's calm down. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Again, I don't think the earnings is gonna come out for another minute. Price is dropping. Oh, price is dropping big. Okay, I think you're also trolling. I think you're all trolling right now. Okay, 1%. Oh shoot. Why is it dropping like that? Down 1%. It can't just go down like that. It has to be for some reason, right? What is that reason? Come on. I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting anything. God, this is the worst part when it comes to this live thing, guys. Like, we gotta sit here and keep clicking refresh until we can get this thing. That's the worst part about it. My God, man. All right. What's going on with the stock? Is it still dropping? Nope, it bounced back up. Okay, it looks like it's bouncing up. It looks like there's some sort of a panic or something going on. This is okay. In 85 minutes, we're still good. We still got. Oh, download. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's a moment of truth right now. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna bring this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's hide this. All right. Profitability 1.6 billion gap operating margin. Oh, damn. Okay. They missed on this. Okay. Income in Q2 after restructuring and other changes of 600 billion, 1.5 billion of gap net income. Yeah, that's less than I was hoping 1.7. 1.8 for non-gap. Okay. So I don't know. What's the EPS going to be like? Okay. Okay. I'm excited. Let's step by step. Operating cash flow of 3.6 billion. Ooh, 3.6 billion operating cash flow. Free of cash flow 1.38 billion. Ooh, guys, this is nice. Okay, cash flow looking good. 3.9 billion increase in our cash position, bro. They got over 30 billion in cash. 30 billion in flipping cash. Okay, let's continue to go. Record energy storage deployment of 9.4 gigawatts. Okay, we know this. Make gigawatts in Q2. Optimus began performing tasks autonomous in one of our factories. Yes, Elon did mention this. Cybertruck became the best-selling EV. Cool. Summary. Honestly, I'll come back and read the summary later. I just want to see what we got with the financials. That's what I care about. I need to get another screen for this, guys, because this needs to okay. Whoa. Sorry, boys. I'm a little excited, jumpy. Okay, let's go to there we go. Okay, let's see. Revenue 19 billion. Okay, we were expecting something like that. Okay, total revenue 25.5 billion. So that's a beat. That's nice. I had around 26 billion, but the street was saying 25.13. So we beat on that. Gross margin 18%. Oh my God. I was on point with this. I said 18% in my little chart, and it's 18%. Bro, I'm on point. Is the EPS on point though? EPS, No, it's not. We missed big time. 52 cents. Oh god, we missed big time. 52 cents. That's not good. That's not good. Why did we miss 52 cents? I need to bring this closer, guys. This is a bit too far. Okay, so we missed on earnings, but let's continue to see what we got. We got I don't really care about EBITDA, to be honest. Operating margin of 6.3%. So I was expecting 7.5, 7% at the least. So okay, we have gone, yeah, we have, I mean, even 6.3 kind of confirms that we have bottom in margins of 5.5. Hopefully, it's not a Q4 event, right? That Q3 goes down. But okay, cool. We have cash flow of 1.3 billion. We have a cash position of 30 billion, which is really, really good. Really, really good. So that's good. All right. So EPS, I was wrong big time, right? I mean, 63 cents, what I was saying, but 52 cents. So I was wrong here. Total gap gross margin right here, I was on point of 18%. So okay, interesting. What was energy? That's what I'm more interested in. Energy of 3 billion. Oh my god. Yeah. I thought it was 3.8 billion, but this is 3 billion. Yeah. Okay, that's where I went wrong there. Okay. And how about I have to go to the net income sheet to see what it is. All right, revenue. I'm hoping this is more closer, guys. This is too far. Let's break it down to 50%. I really need a second screen. All right, revenue. The positives and negatives. Let's see. Total revenue increased 2% year over year. Yeah, bears are gonna like that. In Q2 to 25.5 billion, year over year revenue was impacted by the following terms. Plus, growth in the energy generation and storage business. Yes, Cybertruck deliveries. Yes, higher regulatory credits. What was credits, guys? I totally missed the credits. The credits was oh, they removed it here. Never mind. Oh wow, I was on point with the services too of 2.6 billion. Nice. All right, cool. All right, going back to that. Going back to this. Growth in services and others. Yeah, reduced sexy vehicle averaging selling price. Oh, all right. I gotta do the calculations there as well. So there was a reduce there. I thought they wouldn't be in a reduce for this quarter, but all right. Decline in sexy vehicle deliveries. Yeah, we know that. FX impact of 300 million. Okay, that makes sense. Profitability, plus and minuses. Our operating income decreased year over year to 1.6 billion Q2, resulting in a 6.3 operating margin year over year. Operating income was primarily impacted by the following terms. The negatives: reduced sexy vehicle average selling price, yet noted above. Oh my god, why am I slurring? Um, Restructuring charges, increase in operating expenses largely due by AI projects, decline in sexy vehicle deliveries. The positives, though, um, higher regulatory credit revenue, which we'll figure out in a bit. Growth in energy generation storage gross profits, lower cost per vehicle. Yep. And yeah, COGS are very interesting to see what that's going to be, including lower raw materials, freight, and duties. And the positives are lower cost of production ramp of 4680 batteries. Oh, yeah, there we go. Someone did ask that question. All right. Quarter end cash equivalents and investments in Q2 was over 30 billion. The sequential increase of 3.9 billion was a result of positive free cash flow of 1.3 billion, driven by inventory decrease of 1.8 billion and partially offset by AI infrastructure capex of zero, which is interesting. The AI infrastructure. What other car companies doing that, right? So that's something to keep note of. Okay, below, to some points here below. Gotta bring this out a little bit so we can see what we are seeing. All right. So we have the vehicles. Oh, someone's saying it's tanking, right? Let's see. It's tanking. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see what the stock looks like now. Here we go. Refresh it. Oh, it's not tanking. It's only down 3%. That's nothing. Again, these earnings reports don't really care about the stock. It's the earning call is what matters, guys. The earnings call, right? So 3% down, not even like 2.6% down is not even a big deal. I mean, I would expect a bigger drop, but we're not. So that's interesting. Okay. We know the vehicles already. We know the models already. We know all this. Storage deployment. Yeah, 158% growth. I mean, that's just insane, man. 158% growth. Let me make this closer, guys, because this is just getting. I need a second screen. Tesla locations. They went from 1258 to 1286. up 20%. Supercharger stations 6,249 to 6,473. Not bad. Supercharger network or connectors up 24%, almost 60,000 guys. Not bad. Not bad at all. Aha. We are getting closer to the chart that I'm very looking forward to see. But let's see what's going on here. Vehicle capacity. We added to our vehicle lineup globally, including the introduction of new Model 3 and Model Y trims and additional paints, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. After a sequential decline in production Q2, we expect a sequential. Ooh, ooh. You guys see this right here? We expect a sequel, darn it, screw that word, increase in production in Q3. And we are seeing it with Giga Shanghai because they're pumping out a Model Y every 90 seconds. So something's going on. We'll see what that is. California, Nevada, and Texas. Refresh Model 3 ramp continued successfully, including the introduction of Model 3 Performance in Q2 and long-range rear-wheel drive in July. We also continued to qualify more Model 3 trims for the IRA tax credit. I mean, if Trump becomes president, not too sure if that'll even be a thing, but all right, let's keep it going on. Cybertruck production more than triple sequentially and remains on track to achieve profitability by end year. Preparation for semi-factory continues and is on track to begin production by end of 2025, not even 2027. Ooh, okay, nice. Okay, I like this. I like this. All right. All right. Let's take a little chart over here. Pilot production. Yes. Next gen platform. I wish they put next gen platforms with an S, right? That would be more clearer. So that's interesting. Shanghai, we significantly increased deliveries in several markets, okay, including South Korea. All right. While the automotive market in China remains among the most competitive globally, we feel that our cost structure and focus on core functionality that drives value for customers, including autonomy, positions us well for the long, including autonomy. Yeah, guys, FSD entering China is a very big deal. That's a very big deal. German, I mean, Germany, Berlin, right? In Q2, Gigafactory Berlin, I don't want to butcher that name, so I'm not going to say it, began producing vehicles for the right-hand drive markets and delivered its first unit to the UK. We also began delivering vehicles in Qatar. Dude, come to Kuwait. Come to Kuwait. Come on, man. While increasing deliveries to Israel and Taiwan. Interesting they bring these two countries, right? Always both under threat, right? Our regional production strategy provides flexibility as the needs change across markets. Cool. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's see the stock price. I'm seeing chats going crazy. Down 4%. Yeah, I was expecting something like that. Yeah. Come on, man. What is this? All right. Let's continue with this. All right, look at this chart right here. This is what I care about the most. This chart right here. Let me go ahead and just zoom in. I can zoom in even more. We can just, you know what? I think it's better just if we can just zoom in entirely. There you go. This chart right here. This chart right here. So they're at what? 1.6 billion in collective miles driven. I was expecting more, to be honest. And this is the GPUs, right? GPUs, there was not much of a change between March and June, but they're expecting it to pick up in September. And by end of this year, wow, that's very interesting. Let's see what they got to say about this. All right, let's see. Artificial software, AI software and hardware. In Q2, we focus on reducing interventions with FSD supervised while improving driving comfort. Notably, we rolled out a version of FSD supervised that primarily relies on eye tracking software to monitor driver attentiveness. Screw that word too, man. Screw it. My words today is a little bit off point. Sorry, guys. We also increased the robustness of our next gen FSD supervised, modeled with substantially more parameters. Looking ahead to the future autonomous driving and robotaxi service, we continued progress on software and hardware development. Optimus is performing its first tasks. Again, they brought it up here again with the Optimus. The south extension of Gigafactory Texas is nearing completion and will house our largest cluster of H100s yet. So that's why they haven't increased the H100s, because they're waiting for the Giga Texas on the south side, which makes sense. Guys, 6%? Let's see. No, it's still 4%. Yeah, it's still 4%, guys. No worries, guys. Chill, chill. If it goes 200 and below, I'm gonna start buying again. Yeah. Vehicle and other software. We continue to release software optimizations that enable an increasingly better experience for customers. The spring release included an immersive full screen vehicle controls. Okay, view when parked, large playback. Okay, I mean these are cool stuff. I'm just gonna skip this. I don't really want to read too much into these things. Just other functions, software, battery train, and manufacturing. In Q2, we produced over 50% more. Okay, 4680 batteries in Q1. Oh wow! So in one quarter, 50% more. So that's incredible, and continue to see cost improvement. That's really good. In July, we entered validation of vehicle testing for our first prototype Cybertruck produced with in-house dry with 46 batteries. Okay, a major cost reduction milestone once ramped. Cost reduction across our production lineup. Okay, cool. That's nice. Other highlights. Let's see. Our non-automotive business is becoming an increasingly profitable part of Tesla. Hey, Tesla's not just a car company. You know what I mean? I made a video about this, that talking about this, saying that Tesla is now changing into a completely different company. So, and they're saying it here as well. I mean, majority of our our non-automotive business is becoming an increasingly profitable part of Tesla. That's very important. Um, Good. There's no sound coming. All right. As energy storage products continue to ramp and our vehicle fleet continues to grow, we are expecting continued profit growth of our non-automotive business over time. That is a very big point to put. Very big point. Very big point to put. Energy store generation and storage. Both Megapack and Powerwall achieved record deployment in Q2, resulting in 9.4 gigawatts of total storage deployment. Overall, the energy business achieved record revenues and gross profit in Q2. The Lathrop mega factory continues to ramp successfully, achieving a production record in Q2. Yeah, we know this. Oh, and the Shanghai mega pack factory remains on track for start of production in Q1 2024. Man, energy in 2025, not 2024. 2025 is going to be an awesome flipping year for energy. It's going to be an awesome flipping year. Okay. While we expect production to continue to grow, I hate this word so much, man, but sequentially, deployments will continue to fluctuate. Deployment timing depends on many factors, including project milestones and logistics timing as we deliver product globally from a single factory. Powerwall 3 rollout continues successfully and is now available in Canada, the UK, Germany, in addition to the US. They need to go into more markets, man. That's the thing with this power stuff. It needs to go into more markets. I mean, services and that, I'm going to skip this as well because it's not that big of a deal. Now, outlook is important, guys. We got to go over the outlook because that is very important. Okay, so volume. All right. Volume. Our company is currently between two major growth waves, as they mentioned. The first one began with the global expansion of the Model 3, Model Y platform, and that we believe the next one will be initiated by advances in autonomy and production of new products. I like the word S at the end of products, including those built on our next generation vehicle platform. Nice. In 2024, our vehicle growth rate may be notably lower. Oh, in 2024, our vehicle volume growth may be notably lower than the growth rate achieved in 2020. Okay, yeah, we expect this. So notably would mean if they did 1.8, at 10% would only mean maybe just below 2 million, right? So I think that's what they mean. As our team as our teams work on the launch of the next generation vehicle and other product in 2024, the growth rates of energy storage deployment and revenue in our energy generation and storage business should outpace the automotive business. Sounds about right. So we have what's this one? This is cash. We have sufficient liquidity to fund our product roadmap, long-term capacity expansion plans, and other expenses. Furthermore, we will manage the business such that we maintain a strong balance sheet. I mean, that's incredible. They added over 3 billion and just cash. incredible in this quarter. That's nice. That's really nice. Product plans for new vehicles. We'll go here. Plans for new vehicles. Oh, I like that. I like that. S after the vehicles. We know we're getting more than one vehicle. So that's been confirmed yet again, which is good. Plan for new vehicles, including more affordable models. Oh, there's the S again after the models. I love it. I love it. So we're models, not models. Love it. Remain on track for start production in the first half of 2025. Oh my god. I like that. I like that. Oh man, 2025 is looking flipping great for Tesla, man. These vehicles will utilize aspects of the next generation platform as well as aspects of our current platforms and will be able to be produced on the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle line. Now, this is good, but this also confirms to me that Giga Mexico is going to be much later than expected. Yeah, that's the one con I see with this. Yeah, unfortunately. But it's good to know that there's new models and vehicles is coming. So that's really good. Oh yeah, we're still under products. This approach will result in achieving less cost reduction than previously expected, but enables us to prudently grow our vehicle volumes in a more capex efficient manner during the uncertain times, which are now, right? But when interest rates do go down, that's not uncertain time. So does that mean they're going to ramp even more at that time? I think so. Continuing, this should help us fully utilize our current expected maximum capacity of close to 3 million vehicles. Yeah, they said this before in Q1 as well, enabling more than 50% growth over 2023 production before investing in new manufacturing lines. Okay, that make I guess so. All right. I guess I'm gonna focus more on the robotaxi for that time being. Our purpose-built robotaxi. Oh, they're speaking of robotaxi. Here we go. Our purpose-built robotaxi product will continue to pursue a revolutionary unbox manufacturing strategy. So that's still on the table, guys, which is good. Now, moving on to the other spot, I think I have to zoom out a little bit so y'all can see, so I can see. Photo run charts. All right, so we've got here global battery electric vehicle market 12 months trailing China and the world except China. It's a little bit flat, but you can see China continue to go up. Next one here is Giga Texas South Expansion Data Center. Yeah, we saw that with, I mean, that's a massive ass building. That's a very big building. Wow. We have Corpus Christi lithium. Oh, this is the lithium factory that they're working on. Start of production in 2025. Man, 2025 is looking freaking awesome for Tesla. Everything's coming in 2025. I love it. Cybertruck, okay, coding, that's cool. Yeah, 1.99% APR, awesome. Okay, cool color. I mean, I don't know why people get excited with the colors. Like someone comment down below. Why do people get very excited when new colors come out? I mean, if you don't like the color, just go get it wrapped. You know, that's my thinking, right? Make a pack. Power 1 gigawatt. Okay, this is the one of their sites. We see the bot doing some work. There wasn't. Where was? There's no robotaxi pictures, man. Come on. All right, we've got the key metrics here. We can see vehicle. Yeah, that's that. That's good. Key metrics showing 12 months. Yeah, what is that? That's Q2. What is that? The vehicle deliveries. Yeah. And then we have operating cash flow, all that kind of stuff. Good stuff. Financial statements. This is where I live. Let me see. So there's some key metrics that I want to pull out. One of them being is the average selling price and COGS per each vehicle, which we're going to figure out right now. Okay, so we have automotive sales of 18, right? Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see my calculator. If I pull up here, I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but I have it pulled up. So it was what? 1.83 billion, sorry, divided by how many vehicles did they deliver? 443,562. Yeah, I think so. So average selling, yeah, it did go down. 40. What I'm getting here, guys, man, how can I share my calculator? It's hard to see it, but what I'm getting is 41,775 per each, average selling car that they sell. $41,775. which, I mean, oh, I mean, doesn't the Cybertruck help? I mean, I think they're not at the high volume yet, but okay, cool. But let's see, what was the cost, the cogs of the vehicle? So it was right here. You guys can see the 1592 All right, let's divide that by 443,562. So it just below 36,000, just below. So that's good. So it's 35,000. What I'm getting here is 35,986 per each vehicle is the cogs. So that's not bad. That's actually not that bad at all. Let's keep going down here. This stuff I have to sit down and actually study. Yeah. So what do you guys think about this quarter? What do you guys think? Oh, you guys are yeah, what do I think about this earning? So what I think about this earning is, well, let me answer that question after I figure out what the energy profits was. Sorry. So we have total, it was 3 billion, right? Subtract the auto energy revenue of 2274, it's 740 billion. Yeah, it's okay, that makes sense. 740 billion divided by the actual, yeah, so it's actually, the margins are higher for energy, 24.5%. So wow, if it wasn't for energy, this would have been a really bad quarter. That's all I have to say. That's what I think, right? It would have been a bad quarter, but even though it was a miss, there's still a lot of stuff going on. I mean, let's put this together on X, guys. Like, let's what the stock is. Stock is, wow. Look at that. Whoa. All right, who's buying the dip? Who is buying this dip? I mean, I have to ask, who's buying this dip? Who's buying this dip? I have to see who's buying this dip. I'm gonna put this on X right now. Who is buying this dip? Where is it? Where's my little pencil? There we go. Man, I wish I had a second screen. It would have been so helpful. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for like being here with me. You know, it means the world to me. It means the world to me. Thank you. Gonna go to download quickly. I could call something. All right, let's go to X. You guys are gonna see live tweets. I know you guys love it when I do live tweets. All right. Who is buying this dip? All right. I love tweeting, man. I love X. Shout out to X. I mean, I'm already on X. What am I talking about? All right. There it is. You guys can, they're perfect. Who's buying this dip? Who is buying this dip? Okay. Some things that I do want to add here, right? Important things. Tesla, actually, they added about 3.7 billion in cash. That's the crazy part. Second, right? This is the good stuff that I'm gonna put here, because some of these things are just insane. Some of these, again, yeah. That would, in cash, now over 30.7 billion. Guys, this is a big deal. Having a company like this increasing the cash in one quarter over 3 billion. Now they have over 30 billion in cash, guys. This is 3.6 billion. Sorry, 3.6 billion. 3.6 billion. Yeah. It's crazy. It's madness. I didn't expect them to even, I mean, I was expecting maybe 1 billion, but 3.6 billion, like almost 4 times more. That's insane, guys. That's absolutely crazy. Production increase. So they are expecting vehicle production increase. I think they use my favorite word, sequential, right? Sequential, yeah, sequential. The same. I'm just gonna copy and paste, man. I'm not even gonna freaking. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Increase in Q3. Oops, not hashtag Q3. There was another one here right below it that I found. Semiconductor. Okay. Semi to start production in 20 and end of 2025. Right? That's actually really good. They didn't talk about the Roadster though. right? I know they had the roasters here, to be announced or to be decided. I don't know. Let's see. I was expecting to see that. Um, what else is there? What else? There's a lot of stuff here. I got to go bit by bit. Storage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What else? What else? What else? I was expecting more of this as well. I was expecting to reach at least 1.9 or just 2 billion, but I mean, only 200 million. Still, phenomenal. But I was expecting more. I mean, the energy is just massive. I love this chart right here. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Man, I love the Bears coming out right now. Some of these guys are saying that, yo, you're wrong, all that kind of stuff. Look, everybody was wrong, right? If you guys go back and see the thing, everybody was wrong. What matters right now, guys, is the earnings call. That's all. That's all that matters. The reason why we're seeing a bounce, right? A little bit of a bounce is because, okay, earnings. I mean, again, this is a much better earnings than in Q1. And we knew this regardless of how we're going to go, right? Shout out to Son of Walkley. Love this guy. Um, but let's see. What was I saying? Yeah, it's all about the earnings call, right? We knew that this quarter is going to be a better quarter than Q1. I thought it was going to be phenomenal, but apparently on energy, I overextended a lot, like 800 million. I should have known better, even though, yeah, I should have known better. On average selling cost, I was up by 1,500. So that has to be adjusted as well. So that's that. But look, going forward, nothing changes, right? These are all still the same stories going forward, all that kind of stuff. So, um, that's not, big of a deal. Where is it? There it is. Start of, okay, lithium refinery. This is another one. Lithium. Give me the autocorrect, please. Lithium. What was it? Refinery. Refinery to start. End or start? Start in 2025. Start in 2025. So that doesn't give us a proper date. All right. Let me see what else is there. Let me know if you guys see anything interesting that you guys think I should add to this list. I mean, there were a lot. I just gotta look bit by bit. Okay. Let me see quickly. Let's read the summary. We didn't read the summary, did we? We did not. How long until we reach less than an hour? Make sure there's no music. No, there ain't no music. So you guys don't get bored, because whatever you hear is what I will hear. So let's read the summary, what they got to say. All right, let's see. In Q2, we achieved record quarterly revenue despite a difficult operating environment. The energy storage business continued to grow rapidly, setting a record in Q2 with 9.4 gigawatts of deployments, resulting in record revenues and gross profits for the overall segment. We also saw a sequential rebound in vehicle deliveries in Q2 as overall consumer sentiment improved. And it is improving, guys. It is slowly improving. And we are talking about interest rate cuts. So things are getting better. So I wouldn't bet against that. And we launched attractive financing options to offset the impact of sustained high interest rates. We recognize record regulatory credits. Oh, we didn't check credits. Gotta check that as well. In Q2, as other OEMs are still behind on meeting emission requirements. Let's see. Yeah, global EV penetration returned to growth in Q2 and is taking share from ICE vehicles. That's no doubt. We believe that a pure EV is the optimal vehicle design and will ultimately win over consumers as the myths on range, charging, and service are debunked. And if you guys watched that video with me and my brother, he was a EV doubter, and some of these things that he mentioned is exactly what's saying here: range, charging, and services. You guys can go and watch that video. It was like the fourth or fifth video behind previously to this. He was saying the exact same thing. He's like, listen, man, if the time comes right that I can buy an EV, that makes sense to get an EV, I'll get an EV, even though we can get it now. But in his mind, he's saying he sees a lot of obstacles. So they're right on the money here. But the question is, how can they, debunk this? How can they do it faster? I think educating people through advertisements, not the car, but just through advertisements would make sense. I think that's very important. Progress continued for our AI initiatives in Q2. We reduced the price of FSD, yeah, to North America to 199. That's what they did. These programs have demonstrated success and are laying the foundation for more meaningful FSD monetization. I love that. Oh man, that's music to my ears. I actually really love that. We expect to see an increase in FSD attach rates. Ooh, let me read that again. We expect to see an increase in FSD attach rates for our fleet as the capability improve as the capability improves and we increase awareness of convenience and safety it offers users. Yeah, 12.5 just got rolled out yesterday, so that is a sheesh moment. Last but not least, here, overall, our focus remains on company-wide cost reduction, including reducing COGS per vehicle. Cool. Growing our traditional hardware business and accelerating development of our AI-enabled products and services. The though timing of robotaxi though timing of robotaxi deployment depends on technological advancements and regulatory approval, we are working vigorously on this opportunity given the outsized potential value. Okay. Concurrently, we are managing our product portfolio with long-term orientation and focusing on growing sales, maximizing our installed base, and generating significant cash flow. Okay, to invest in future growth. All right, cool. So, oh man, throat's getting a little dry, but I love water. Cool. Okay, so pretty much, long story short, what they're saying is that yeah, we're going to continue to be very conservative until we don't need to be anymore when the robotaxi stuff comes out and when the technology and stuff all comes. So that's interesting. Let me see. Um, no, where's that? I want to see what credits were. Credits. There we go. Credits were nope. Let me go a little bit to the left. Holy 890. That is credits was 890 million. Whoa. They they were just like, yo, we're not gonna be quiet on this quarter. We want to make sure we have an epic quarter. Well, I mean, it wasn't epic, but wow, 890 million. That is just insane. That is crazy. Anyways, going back to this, semi, we said 2025, that's 2025. Mega pack. I'll add this, and this will be the last one. Mega pack, Shanghai. I add this already, right? No, I did not. Okay, how dare I miss them? To start in 2025. Start in Q1 of 2020, Q1 of 2025. 2025 is looking. It's just, dude. 2025 is looking freaking awesome. It's looking crazy good, right? I don't know. Let's see. Tesla. Oops. Interesting points. I would call this. Interesting points in Q2 Tesla reports. Okay, I need to get my energy back because my energy is a little bit like interesting points in Q2 because I'm just my brain is going crazy right now. Yeah, we're gonna add a less fucking go to. All right. Cool. Okay. Some things that I do want. Let's see. I'll give you guys some attention to in a bit. But what I want to do is so average selling price, right? Tesla's average selling price in Q2 dropped to 41,775. Sorry, 41,775. That's what it dropped down to. And but COGS dropped down to what was it? It was 36,000. Let me do the calculation again. It was, let me pull out the calculator again. It was 15,962. oops, 962 444 3562. I think that's what it was. No, not times it. Why did I times it? Oh, okay. Let's go here. Let's go. Battery's getting low. Plug that in. Divided by 443,562. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 35985. Oops, not 3635 986 986. Sheesh. No, I'll be honest. I was not expecting the ABE to go down. I'll be honest. All right. Okay, enough with this X stuff. I want to focus on you guys. I want what are you guys thinking? What are you guys saying, right? What are you guys saying? So we going down from here. Well, what is the stock saying? What is the stock saying? The stock is saying 3%. So no, what I'm expecting, right, guys? My energy's coming back now, finally. Okay, what I'm expecting to happen is obviously this earnings, whether this earnings was good or bad, there was never going to be a shot up or a shot down, right? A shot up or a shot down would be like over like 8%, 10%, right? We're only getting like 3%, 4%, 5% at max. What's important is the earnings call. Now, if it does go down, I'm definitely going to buy more. So I don't mind that. But what's going to happen with this Tesla thing, guys? And I've always been with this, is that it's going to be a Nvidia moment. I was going to say the wrong way because you guys will bash me when I say the wrong way, but it's going to be an Nvidia moment. It's going to be like you didn't see it coming, right? Robo taxis will come out. You see full self driving getting more bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden, like just how we saw with energy just pop out of nowhere, we're gonna see that. And until we see Wall Street and all these other bigger investments see the value of this, we are gonna be in this limbo for some time. But nonetheless, all the things that they're saying here, it looks like they're betting a lot for 2025. They're really betting a lot for 2025. So that's what I think is going to happen from here. I think earnings call. I think there's going to be some interesting information, good information, but I don't see any interesting information that can really bring the stock higher. Unfortunately, I don't want to sound pessimistic or anything like that, but I'm looking at it, at a realistic lens. Because they mentioned everything what we wanted. They've mentioned it, right? Oh shoot, I forgot one thing. Oh, and next gen vehicles to be available, to be produced in 2025. Not 2005, 2025. All right, there we go. So yeah, that's what I think was going to happen next. I think, again, this is all short-term stuff, right, guys? Again, if you guys are invested in Tesla stock, you guys aren't in it. You guys are in it for the long term, not in it for the next 1 or 2 quarters, right? And we can even see other stocks like Nvidia, all that kind of stuff. They're staggering too because they've gone up 10x in a short amount of time. They got to chill. I mean, Tesla for the past month is up 35%, guys, right? In the past 6 months, up 17%. But if you guys bought at the low, which I bought a lot at the low, you're up over 73%, which is crazy. Year to date, you're just par, right? And if you bought a year ago, you're down 8%. And if you bought 5 years ago, you're up 1,500%, right? But if you're Woojack and you bought at the high, you're still down 40%, right? So again, this is a long-term game, guys. I do expect that Q3 is going to be a good quarter. Q4 is going to be a quarter. I don't know if they're going to be a beat or not, but it is going to be an upward trend. I think this is the turning point for Tesla. I really do think so. That's what I think is going to happen. So, yeah. What else you guys saying? Well, unless Elon pulls another rabbit from his hat, we are about to go deep into the red. Yeah, that's also true as well. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, earnings 52 cents was a big miss. I'm not gonna lie, it was a miss, and it's been a miss for some time too. Um, but unless Elon pulls another rabbit out of the hat, I think they will pull a rabbit out of the hat, but in Q4, not now. Elon can't really say anything that can bring the stock up because there's nothing against him right now, right? Like we don't have any news outlet or any of those Reuters rumors coming out saying that this is canceled or that's canceled. We don't have that happening this quarter. So what could Elon say to really bring the stock higher? I don't know. That's the hard part. Yeah. That's the hard part. That's hard to guess. I mean, the best thing he can say is that, yeah, robotaxi is still happening in September, October, and there's going to be a lot of information and stuff like that. Like I can see that happening, right? Um, So yeah, all right. Short Fridays. Thank you for the super chat. I love you. Mwah, love you so much. Peggy, do you see it retracing to 210s levels over the next few weeks? If the call is not great, I ask because I want to buy back in. I'm not a technical guy, but if you want my honest opinion, I honestly think so. When was the last time I was trading at 210? Yeah, it was right here. So it's not a unrealistic case. It really could go down there, but I think there's just going to be a lot of stuff going to be priced into it. For example, energy. Wall Street woke up and they said, "Whoa, this energy is bigger than we thought." I think we got to add it to the equation. I think they got to price that in. Now, based on what Elon has to say in this earnings call, that's what will give us that factor. If he comes out and is laser focused and says that yeah, energy is going to continue to double next quarter, we will continue to see big jumps in energy. We are going to see, our FSD take rate is much higher than 2%. If he says all these key things, we probably won't see a 210. But there's always a correction in the market. So I do personally, I don't mind it going down to 210 because I'll buy more. But I would say the likeliness of this happening is 60% going down to 210, 50, or 50, 60%. I would say that because a correction needs to be done. I mean, guys, the stock has gone up, you know, where is it? Year to date. In a matter of just 3 months has gone up 73%. So I don't, I could see it going down to 210 a little bit until something happens. Then it can shoot back up. I can see that. Definitely see that happening. So that's my answer to you. I know it wasn't much of an answer because I'm not a technical guy, but that is my answer to you. And obviously, we'll see some investors, looking and saying, "Oh, 63 PE, that's a bit high for Tesla." We'll definitely see that, and we'll see some reshuffling as well. But again, for me personally, going forward with the stock, I see there's a lot of good things happening with Tesla than bad. For example, we're getting more certainty that Trump is going to become the president, right? And that's going to be good for Tesla and Elon, all that kind of stuff. We see interest rates getting cut. We see inflation going down. We see, consumer sentiment coming back. We see people trusting FSD more. We see energy growing. So there's more good news than bad news right now. So it's hard to time it. That's why I bought yesterday around the 230 mark, or I think it was 239. That's what I bought. So it's really hard to time this thing. But it's also not that realistic or not that unrealistic to see the stock going to 210. I can't see that. Well, we need a correction for that, I think. So that's what I think. I hope I answered your question, man. I really do. Let's see. Peggy, without restructuring Tesla, had EPS 66 cents. Yeah, that's so true. Oh, that is so true. Yo, you're right. Let me go. Hold on a second. How did I miss this? How did I miss this, man? You're actually on. Whoa. Hold on, let me put my little calculator here. So, restructure of 63. Oh, dude, hold on a second. Earnings. Where is it? Where's the darn earning? 1.6 billion, right? Was that the number? Operating margin 60.3%. We see Net income 1.4. So you're saying, hold on, you're on to something, man. And they said, yo, that's 2 billion in net income. Yo, Rocky, Rock, you're absolutely right. No, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait, just hold on. Whoa. Okay, this changes everything for me now. This changes everything. Rock, do you have X? Let me know if you are on X. I have to tweet this right now, bro. Dude, how did I miss this? How did I miss this? Rock, thank you. Rock, are you still here? If you're here, let me know your X. I have to shout you out on this. This is actually pretty. This is big. This is actually Tesla would have beaten, would have a screw it EPS non-gap of, would it be 66 cents? Right? 2 billion divided by no, that's net income. Let me go back to the there's non-gap. Non-gap 1.2 plus 600 2.4 billion. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. That makes sense now. No, dude. Not 66 cents. 69 cents. I'm getting 69 cents. Dude, this is actually more. That was gap EPF if they did not restructure of 600 million. Yo, Rock, bro, you here, man? I want to give this guy shout outs. Okay, I'll give you a shout out in the comments if you say, but that's which would have been a beat. This is, my mind is actually different now. This is actually really good. Rock, I think he's not here anymore. Whoever, if you guys know him or something, let me know. If they did not. This doesn't make any sense. If they did not invest 600 million in re-instructing, that's whoa. Okay, guys, this changes everything. Wow. Oh, what's this? What are you saying, man? 21 minutes ago, Dojo will have roughly 8,000. Oh, shoot. Dojo. This is just breaking news from Elon right now. Important to note that we also use the Tesla hardware 4 AI computer and training loop with NVIDIA GPUs currently at roughly 1:2 ratio. Also, we're changing the name from hardware 4 to artificial. Okay, AI 4. That means 90,000 H100 plus 40K AI 4 computers. And Dojo 1 will have roughly 8,000 H100. God. Of training online by end of the year. Not massive, but not trivial either. Yeah, I mean that sounds massive to me. That sounds massive to me. Yeah, dude. Honestly, Rock, you here? Oh, he's not here, man. But dude, that is actually true, bro. My mind has been, dude. If that's the case, then this quarter was actually a pretty darn good quarter. This is that, dude. This guys, if you guys are coming in right now, just read this right now. Read this right now. What's a spam? Anyways, but guys, just read this right now. Tesla would have an EPS non-gap of 69 cents if they did not invest 600 million in restructuring, which would have been a beat. Dude, that means this was already a beat. It's just that, you know what? We'll just take 600 million now and restructure. Bro, this is a good, man. Can I buy the dip? Can I buy the dip, please? Can I? That's why the stock ain't going down that low. That makes sense. Oh my God, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. I want everyone to know this right now because everything's making sense right now. Okay? If Tesla And here, oh my God, this is actually a pretty good. I'm getting pumped. 600. Read this line right here. Free of cash flow. Right here. Come on, highlight. There we go. This line right here, guys. Read it with me. Free of cash flow of 1.3 billion Q2. AI infrastructure capex was 600 million in Q2. If you re-add this back into the earnings, we would have an EPS of this right here of 69 cents. We've beat. Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Rock. We have. This was a solid quarter. I'm sorry. This is a solid quarter. Now I know why. Now I know why. Oh my God. Whoever's panic selling right now, you just did a big mistake. You did a very big mistake. If you panic sold, you did a big mistake because, wow. So, long story short, yes, we would have beaten earnings if they did not invest 600 million. In other words, they didn't have to do it in this quarter. They could have just done it, prolong it till Q3, but they're like, no, do it now. Essentially, they have beaten it. Essentially. You see, this is why it's important. Again, thank you, Rock. Man, where are you, Rock, man? Thank you, Rock. Thank you. Thank you, Rock. I don't know how I even missed that. That's a big miss from my part. I guess this is all the multitasking that I'm doing. I missed it. But this is why it's important to go through the financials and actually connect the dots. When you connect the dots like this, there's nothing to panic about. Wow, what a quarter. What a quarter. 69 cents. 69 cents. So I'm just thinking, my mind is going crazy right now. I have to, after all this stuff is done, I have to just sit back and go and just review everything and then come back. What is this guy saying? Oh, animes and stuff like that. Wow. That is crazy. And I think that's why the stock isn't going down that low. Or maybe those who are selling, they haven't seen this part yet. Wow. PowerPoint. You are a member. Welcome. I love you, PowerPoint. Since some time, man. I love you. Moving out of Dell was a panic move. Really though, do you think was it a panic move? I don't know. I think I don't know. I think moving to Texas would have been, the best case scenario here. What the judge did was not was not a good thing to do. It was just stupid, and we have this thing going on still. But curious to know what your opinion is. Oh, we got a new member here, Angie. Thank you for joining the member. Thank you. I love you guys. And guys, if you guys want to join the members, it's like $2 a month or whatever. It's a way of supporting me. I just love making. I have a passion for making videos, man. I just love making videos, and I will be making one tomorrow. After this live is done, I gotta go. I better look at the earnings of this. I love it. And thank you for joining the member. I am thinking soon, and I know I've been saying this. And I know I've been saying this for some time, to open a Discord for the members only. So, but I have a lot of things going on in life. I don't know how I can even manage that. But because obviously, when you guys want to join the Discord, I want you guys to have the best experience, and that is my attention sometimes, right? So, yeah. But I am thinking of that. Those who are members, 100% to join the Discord. We're gonna have a lot of fun time and stuff like that. So welcome. I think we won. We have won. PowerPoint. We have won. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're still going back and forth. It's just stupid. You know what I mean? This whole thing with with the judge and all that is so unnecessary and just so stupid. Yeah. But yeah, you're right, PowerPoint. Sophie, I see you commenting on every single of my videos. I love it. And I love you. So what you're saying here, hopefully they explain this in the meeting and make it clear EPS of 69 cents needs to be stated. Yeah, guys, if you guys are joining right now, this is so important. This right here. Bro, like they just read this right here. Tesla would have an EPS of non-GAAP of 69 cents if they did not invest 600 million restructuring. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, it's important for them to restruct because that's what's going to give higher returns in the future and get them the autonomy, all that kind of stuff. But just look between the lines. They flipping beating it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love it. It's crazy. Wow. Oh man. Big fan. Thank you. Thank you, Aggie. I am blessed. I am very blessed. I am very humble. And we're gonna have a lot of fun on this channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel very humbled. Thank you. Let's see. What do we have here? Love you too, Peggy. Mutual feeling. EPS was 64. Blair, read this. Read this. Read this for me, please. 600 million in restructuring. Facts are facts. You're right. It was a miss. 54 cents. Right. You're right. But why was it a miss? It's because of the 600 million that they used from the profits of that year, of that quarter, and they put it towards. They would have had 69 cents. It's a miss. Official bottom line right now, it's a miss. That's what they wanted to report. That's what they reported. It's a miss. Completely, 100% agree with you. But when you read between the lines as an investor, and shout out to The Rock, 69 cents or 68 cents, whatever, it rounds up to. That is a big deal. I mean, that as an investor, there's no reason to panic. In fact, I'll even buy more, but when it goes lower, not now. So that's the important part. That is the important part. Will I buy more Tesla stock now? Well, here's the thing. Right now, the stock is what? Yeah, 238. I'm comfortable buying in the low 200s. Because look, I have nearly 1,000 shares, guys. Nearly 1,000 shares. And, I need to save for a property, for a home, all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, but Pidgey, man, use the investment you bought Tesla and just use that one at 10x's. You're right. But I'm not looking to get a home by end of the decade. You know what I mean? I want to get it sooner. And I need to, save up for that. And, emergency funds, all that kind of stuff. Need to save up for all that kind of stuff. But I'll be more comfortable to buy in the low 200s or in the high 100s, which I don't think will reach the in the high 100s unless, in 24 minutes, unless, it goes down big time. Yeah. So that's that. All my calls. Oh, you guys are going to yeah, on these option stuff, I mean, I would wait until the earnings call, then I would make my decision, stuff like that. Right now, people are panicking. I don't think majority know what happened with the restructuring and all that kind of stuff. So I think I would wait on that. But yeah, is the $6 million for moving Texas or inside? Now they didn't mention exactly what it was for. AI? No, it's AI and infrastructure, capex. So it's an investment. That's what it is. So that's important. Yeah, again, re-instruction of what? It's the AI infrastructure. That's what they're doing. Wait a minute. I think AI infrastructure. Where is it? There we go. Not re-instructing, but I guess that's part of it. There we go. That's important to put. There we go. That's what it was for. How old am I? Guess how old I am. That's guess. Give you a hint. I'm not 30, so I'm much younger than 30. Well, not much younger, but I'm giving too much info. Just guess. Guys, smash that like button if you guys haven't smashed it yet. Come on. and hit subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed yet. We're having a hell of a time right now. Hell of a time. So I sold a couple calls of 250, a couple 250 calls and some 400 last week, but I'm going to be very red tomorrow. Yeah, it's tough, this call stuff, man. I mean, I would love to do the options, but I don't know. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. You bingo, right on the money. Right on the money. I'm 28. You guys are going crazy with that. But yeah, what do you guys think? Out of 10, what do you guys think this earnings was? I'm gonna go ahead and hide this because we don't need this right now. All eyes on me now, eh? But what do you guys think the earnings out of 1 to 10? What do you guys think? Earnings call will be starting in less than 25 minutes. So, until then, what do you guys think? 7. Until you guys write this, I'm gonna get the where is it? There it is. Boom. There we go. So I'm gonna wait for this, and we can just do that. Anyways, eyes on me for now. Let's see what's going on. So you're saying 6 out of 10, 8.5, 3 out of 10. I understand why you said 3 out of 10. It was a big miss, but if it wasn't for the AI infrastructure, it would have been a beat, big time. It would have been a beat. 7. I would say 7. I would say I'm in between. I'm in between 6 and 7. I'm in between 6 and 7. It would have been over an 8 for me, or a 9 if there was no AI infrastructure. But again, I know that's needed for investments. But in this one, it was that 6, true. Nothing special. 5 out of 10. Here's the thing, guys. This won't even matter in 2-3 years' time. It won't even matter. No one will even remember this quarter, Q2, in a year or two time. No one's going to remember it, and no one's going to care about it. All right. Peggy, do you think Tesla trades higher or lower in 30 days? Man, 30 days. I just don't see it why it would trade lower. Hard for me to see it because just so many good things coming, especially for 2025. And I know the market is forward looking. I don't know if you guys hear my laptop's going crazy right now, but I think it'll either stay the same, maybe if there's a correction, but I think overall, fundamentally, it should go higher, in my opinion. Right? That's what I think. You're gonna give it a 3, true. 5 out of 10. My expectation was way too high. Actually, no. Again, going back to that tweet I just tweeted, if they weren't doing the 600 million AI infrastructure, they would have been beaten. They would have had 68 or 69 EPS. That's very important, guys. That's not a high expectation. That's on point. But because they did that AI capex, it went down. So I don't think we had a high expectation. I think we were on point. My GAAP gross margin was on point. I was expecting 18%. They had 18%. I was expecting revenue 26 billion. They had 25.5 billion. So expectations were there. It's just that we didn't see some of the things that they were doing, like the investing part, right? The AI infrastructure capex, for example, or the $300 million FX currency FX exchange back to US dollar, right? That also has an impact. We did not see any of these. If we did, we definitely would add it in. But obviously, you can't see these things. You just can't. These things happen one at a time, one every quarter, right? You don't know that. Talk about the margins, PGGI. Margins were good. I mean, it was 6.3%. It would have been more than 7.5% if they didn't do the AI infrastructure capex. That's all I got to say about the margins. But 6.3%, and I do think it's a bottom of 5.5% in Q1. I don't think we're going to get anything lower than that. So we're good. 6, 9 out of 10. FSD contribution, we don't know that yet. We'll find out very soon. 4, 5, can't even think. Straight cold, sweating. Why are you sweating, my man? Oh, yeah, because you got calls. I'm sorry, my man. Yeah, calls and all these options, dude. It's painful. I don't do it. I mean, I do regret not doing the calls when it was in the 140s, and I knew I should, but I don't know how. But Again, I would wait for earnings, my man. I would wait for earnings, my man. Don't panic. Managed to sell a bit, highs to 60, somewhat lucky. I mean, not lucky, but just swing trading, I guess. Do that. Just what? Just wait for Elon. Wait for Elon. Yeah, wait for Elon. Yeah, I just don't see how the company is going to grow without new plants. But no, here's the thing. Look, the Mint Cuban. Look, interesting name by the way. But look, the Giga Berlin, they're not at max capacity. Giga Texas is not at max capacity. You've got Fremont and Shanghai, they're at max capacity. I think Shanghai still has a little bit more to go, but you got 2 out of the 4 factories still not at max capacity. So it's not about the plants, right? It's not about that. Um, we know there's Giga Mexico that is going to be built, but we don't know when, right? I think it's going to be delayed. But it's not about the cars. Look, what we need to see more from Tesla is this FSD thing. We need to see more of this energy thing, something that's not car related. Then we can see it grow. And once the economy is not in like in a very tough environment like what it is now, right now it's in a very tough environment because of high interest rates. People can't afford homes, people can't afford to lease cars, they can't lease cars. So that impacts Tesla because majority of the revenue right now and sales is coming from vehicles at the moment, even though it's shrinking every single quarter and year. It's still, you know, and the cars in majority in places like here in Canada, a Tesla Model 3 brand new with incentive is like 45 grand, 40 grand. That's expensive, right? In the US, you could get it for 25 because you got incentives upon incentives, all that kind of stuff. So if you can have a car that's starting at that price point below the 30,000s, then you can, it's going to do very well. And when you bring interest rates down, people can afford the monthly payment of it. Then Tesla can increase the prices of their cars, and then you'll see demand coming, and then you'll see, cars being sold left, right, and center because people don't. They delay buying cars. That's what they do. They delay it. They want to get a new car. They would like to, um, improve and upgrade and just move on to a better car. They obviously do want to do that. However, though, at the same time, they want to do it when they can afford it. Right now, they can't afford it. But what do you think is going to happen when they could afford it? When interest rates go down, when the monthly fees are suitable, when they don't have to pay so much for their mortgage, right? So I don't think more plants is the answer here. Yes, if you want to sell 20 million vehicles in the future, as what Tesla stated, sure. And I think, by the way, majority of that 20 million vehicle is going to be robo taxis, right? I think that's a given. That is a given. 100% going to be 20 million. But robo taxi not 20 million. Given it's going to be robo taxi, but that's it. And until Tesla doesn't see this, they're not going to risk it by building a whole new factory. And that's how it is, right? That's what I'm going to say. But I will say that they added cash to their position this quarter, which was massive, even with the investment to AI infrastructure. So they would have actually added more than 4 billion in cash. Oh my God, the realizations. It's just crazy. They would have had over 31 billion in cash if they didn't do that investment. But again, it's investment, right? You're not supposed to hoard money. You're supposed to keep investing it and growing it because that investment is going to give you more money in the future. That's how it's supposed to be. Oh man, so many comments here. I gotta get to you guys. So, Marcus Smith. All right. So you're saying 6 grand and counting after close, stock manipulation, just got a hold now and wait. Yeah, again, this is just a short-term thing. It does not matter. Let's see what else you guys got to say. There's a lot of things. Yo, Thomas, where you been, my man? So yeah, you missed quite a bit. They missed. Yeah, long story short, they missed, but they would have beaten it. But sorry, let me gather my thoughts. They missed because not because of lower sales or anything like that. No. They actually had good sales. They missed because they were doing investments in AI infrastructure, about 600 million. And if you add that to the net income gap and non-gap, The EPS non-gap would have been a massive beat, like the 68, 69 cents. Massive, massive, just massive. So right now the market's panicking that, oh my God, they beat, they missed. So yeah, bottom line, officially, yeah, they missed. But when you read between the lines and look at the financials, man, they actually freaking beat it. Right? They just had to do investments. So that's what you missed. So yeah. PowerPoint, my boy. What were you saying, my man? As in Elzabul and Buffalo Bills fan. I can say being a testable is being a Buffalo Bills fan. Always promise of greatness next season. Look, I'm not gonna lie, man. This quarter, because of this investment, I'm going back to this investment thing because that's what it is, right? They would have had a big beats, but yeah, bottom line, they did miss. So yeah. All right, what do we see here? Tripal Helix. And they don't need to do major retooling for new generation, but dry Catalan energy in the huge business and energy sector. True. Okay. Good stuff. I just don't see how the Mint Giant, that's what you got to say now. I just don't see how they will get two new cars out these plants. It's not about the plants, it's about lines. And they just mentioned in the earnings report that they're working on new models and new vehicles that they're going to be using the existing a new generation platform together in one line, going up to 3 million in capacity. So more than 50% to what it is now. So that's that in the short term, right? PowerPoint, my man, again, I think Elon has already moved on from yes, I think he has moved on from there as well. Auto manager to FSD as a service and hopefully bots somewhere. Yeah, the way how it's going, I think, again, if you what he's thinking, in my opinion, him reaching the 20 million mark for vehicles globally for Tesla, I'm going to say 60 or 50% of that is going to be easily the robotaxi. and the crazy thing about the robotaxi guys is that once you have these things on the road, it's just going to destroy car sales. Because if I can get from point A to point B, first of all, without driving, right? If I'm going to work every day, I hate driving the same route, same road, same flipping traffic. Just get me out of this traffic, man. Or you know what? I don't want to drive. I can do other things. If that can be fixed with a robotaxi, and I don't even have to drive and I can do other things, probably even sleep in the damn car, well, then that's worth it. And if the cost is 10 times cheaper than owning and maintaining a car, then why the heck would I have a car? I would just have a flipping convertible roadster, whatever, in my garage for whenever I do want to drive, which will be on the weekends or wherever I'm going. That's nice. That where I want to go, where I want to drive, where I want to take pleasure in driving, not to work every single flipping day, same routes, same traffic. So that's why I think more than 50 or 60% of all Tesla vehicles in the future being sold is going to be a flipping robotaxi. So yeah, good. That's a solid point. PowerPoint. I get it, but have to wait until another year or 2 or 3. Yeah, this will take time. I just want to see robotaxi event to see what the actual plan is. Then we can give it a good time frame from it, right? That's what I'm waiting for. Oh boy, good call, man. I like this live session. It gets my brain working because you guys keep commenting good stuff. All right, lazy dog. We'll see you soon. Thank you for joining. When should I sell my Tesla shares? If you're a long-term investor, not anytime soon. But if you're a short-term investor, I have no idea. No idea. I'm holding until 2030. I don't know why I have to think about that. 2030. Unless a 10x says next year, then maybe I have to think about it. But if and doesn't 10x's or 15x's, then I'm not selling a single share until 2030. Tesla posted adjusted EPS 52 cents versus that's with in the earnings report, yes. But if you do the math and you add the 600 million with the AI capex infrastructure, then the EPS would be above 68 cents or something like that. It's 600 million. That's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money, and that boosts up the EPS big time. So that's important to note. Well, I mean, it's better to do the investment now than later, right? Anything that you guys can invest today is better than tomorrow, so you guys can reap that benefit sooner rather than later. So that's why. And it doesn't matter. Look, if it wasn't going to be this quarter, they're going to show it next quarter, right? So I wouldn't do that. Jason, what are the chances of another factory built this year in Mexico? In Mexico, So you're talking about another factory, right? Not the Mexico. So I don't think it's gonna be in Mexico, to be honest, because if if another factory is gonna be built in Mexico, the other factories that I think that could be built there, other than the Gigafactory, is maybe a Megapack. But then I don't think Tesla would want to have a Megapack in Mexico unless it's for South America and the labor is cheap. Then maybe I do expect them to announce another Megapack factory later on this year. I do. The third one. The location though, not when they're going to be breaking ground. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But let's first get the Giga Mexico started at least, then we can talk about another factory in actual Mexico. Because based on this report, what they said is that, hey, look, based on the environment, there was a good line here that they said that if I can find it quickly here, I know you guys, I'm not showing the screen here, but let me just quickly find what he wrote here. Yeah, so yeah, this is the line. He said that these vehicles will utilize aspects of next generation platform as well as aspects of our current platforms, and we will able to be producing the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle lineup. So they're focusing on current vehicle lineup for their new vehicle generations. But the problem here is that if that's how they're thinking, then it means that their next gen vehicle unbox version is even more delayed. And if that's even more delayed, then Giga Mexico is being delayed as well. That's what I got from it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I got from it. Let's see. Oh, Mark, we got a new member here. Mark, welcome. Welcome to the gang. Welcome to the community. Man, thank you for supporting me. It's $2 a month. Thank you so much. I just love making videos. I hope you will see. I hope you'll enjoy the stuff that I'll be continuing to make, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so, it's very humbling. I mean, right now we have over 33,000 or 3,200 people, not vehicles. What am I talking about? People on this live, between X and YouTube. So thank you so much. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Hi, Pidgey. Do you own another stock apart from Tesla? I don't. No, I'm 100% Tesla, 100%. And because I understand the company, so I don't own anything else more than Tesla. Was it a hit or miss just getting here? Oh, let me take some water, man. Throat is getting a little dry. Bottom line, it was a miss. Yeah, 52 cents or 54 cents. It was a miss. But we know why it was a miss. That why 52 cents. That's what it was. Not, yeah, 52 cents. The reason why it was a miss is because they invested $600 million in AI capex, and there was a $300 million in FX currency exchange that was deducted from that as well. So really, nearly $1 billion was stripped away from the net income, which is insane, right? But mainly, let's remove the capex and stuff like that. That's not the capex, the FX currency exchange, the 600 million in AI infrastructure. If we add that back to the net income, because that's where they got it from, right? That's an EPS of over 68 cents, which is just massive. It's big. I mean, that would have been a massive beat. But that's why you gotta look at the the earnings report to know. And shout out to The Rock. His name was The Rock that brought it up. So a sheesh moment. Oof. More of the bot. No, here's the thing with FSD. Once that thing is solved, it unlocks three pillars. Three pillars. Yes, all Teslas around the world will have the chance to, opt in for FSD depending on, approval for regulatory. But again, if you got the data, it'd be stupid not to approve it, right? But that's one. Second is the robot taxi. Once you got, again, full self driving solved fully and completed, robot taxis are going to be on the road. So these two opportunities are there. Then the last one is licensing. I don't see any other company other than Tesla that can mass license out this technology to other companies. Like who? Baidu? No. Waymo? How? You're gonna have 10 million different cameras around and sensors around your car. Just not practical. Just not practical at all. Better to have the AI to drive, right? And Tesla's the only one that can do it. And so far ahead that they can do it. Now, will there be other players? Sure. I'm not saying there won't be. There will be, but they will not be as good, as scalable, as smart, and as how else I can say it, as advanced as Tesla's. You think once they're solved, they're gonna stop there? Hell no, man. They're gonna continue. They're gonna go to flipping. I don't know if this will happen, but probably even go to India and all those other places where it's hard to drive. I'm sure probably solve it there or something. They're gonna continue to go. They're gonna continue to innovate and continue to grow like that. That's how it is. So yeah. Um Not financial advice, we're going under 200. Man, oh man, if we go under 200, I gotta buy more shares. As simple as that. But I don't think so. I don't think we're going to go under 200. Unless you have a big correction. I don't think go in 200. All right. How far are we until? Oh shoot. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Well, it's going down now, but I think once the market realizes that why it's going down, which is stupid, right? Because we see why it's going down. Oh, music has stopped. Then I think the stock will go back again.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Here we go.
Welcome to Tesla's second quarter 2024 Q&A webcast. My name is Travis Axelrod, Head of Investor Relations, and I'm joined today by Elon Musk, Vaibhav Taneja, and a number of other executives. Our Q2 results were announced at about 3 p.m. Central Time in the update deck we published at the same link as this webcast. During this call, we will discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. These comments are based on our predictions and expectations as of today. Actual events or results could differ materially due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those mentioned in our most recent filings with the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. Please use the raise hand button to join the question queue. Before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Thank you. So to recap, we saw large adoption acceleration in EVs, and then a bit of a hangover as others struggle to make compelling EVs. So there have been quite a few competing electric vehicles that have entered the market, and mostly they have not done well, but they have discounted their EVs very substantially, which has made it a bit more difficult for Tesla. We don't see this as a long-term issue, but really as fairly short-term. And we still obviously firmly believe that EVs are best for customers and that the world is headed for a fully electrified transport, not just of cars, but also of aircraft and boats. Despite many challenges, the Tesla team did a great job executing, and we did achieve record quarterly revenues. Energy storage deployments reached an all-time high in Q2, leading to record profits for the energy business. And we're investing in many future projects, including AI training and inference, and a great deal of infrastructure to support future products. We won't get too much into the product roadmap here because that is reserved for product announcement events. But we are on track to deliver a more affordable model in the first half of next year. Really, by far, the biggest differentiator for Tesla is autonomy. And in addition to that, we have scale economies, and we're the most efficient electric vehicle producer in the world. So, anyway. while others are pursuing different parts of the AI robotics stack, we are pursuing all of them. This allows for better cost control, more scale, quicker time to market, and a superior product, applying not just to autonomous vehicles, but to autonomous humanoid robots like Optimus. Regarding full self-driving and robotaxi, we've made a lot of progress with full self-driving in Q2, and with version 12.5 beginning rollout, we think customers will experience a step change improvement in how well supervised full self-driving works. Version 12.5 has 5 times the parameters of 12.4 and will finally merge the highway and city stacks. So the highway stack is still, at this point, is pretty old. So often the issues people encounter are on the highway, but with 12.5, we finally merged the 2 stacks. I still find that most people actually don't know how good the system is. And I would encourage anyone to understand the system better to simply try it out and let the car drive you around. One of the things we're going to be doing just to make sure people actually understand the capabilities of the car is when delivering a new car and when picking up a car for service, to just show people how to use it and just drive them around the block. Once people use it at all, they tend to continue using it. So it's very compelling, and then this, I think, will be a massive demand driver. Even unsupervised full self-driving will be a massive demand driver. And as we increase the miles between intervention, it will transition from supervised full self-driving to unsupervised full self-driving, and we can unlock massive potential in the fleet. We postponed the sort of robotaxi, or the sort of product unveil by a couple months, where it's shifted to 10/10, so the 10th of October. And this is because I wanted to make some important changes that I think would improve the vehicle, the sort of the robotaxi, the main thing that we're going to show, and we're also going to show off a couple of other things. So moving it back a few months allowed us to improve the robotaxi, as well as add in a couple other things for the product unveil. We're also nearing completion of the south expansion of Giga Texas, which will house our largest training cluster to date. This will be an incremental 50,000 H100s plus 20,000 of our hardware 4 or AI5 Tesla AI computer. With Optimus, Optimus is already performing tasks in our factory, and we expect to have Optimus production version 1 in limited production starting early next year. This will be for Tesla consumption. It's just better for us to iron out the issues ourselves. But we expect to have several thousand Optimus robots produced and doing useful things by the end of next year in the Tesla factories. And then in 2026, ramping up production quite a bit. And at that point, we'll be providing Optimus robots to outside customers. That'll be production version 2 of Optimus. For the energy business, this is growing faster than anything else. We are really demand constrained rather than production constrained. So we're ramping up production in our US factory, as well as building the Megapack factory in China that should roughly double our output. Maybe more than double, maybe triple potentially. So in conclusion, we're super excited about the progress across the board. We're changing the energy system, how people move around, how people approach the economy. The undertaking is massive, but I think the future is incredibly bright. I really just can't emphasize just the importance of autonomy for the vehicle side and for Optimus. Although the numbers sound crazy, I think Tesla producing at volume with unsupervised FSD, essentially enabling the fleet to operate like a giant autonomous fleet, and it takes the valuation, I think, to some pretty crazy number. ARK Invest thinks on the order of $5 trillion. I think they're probably not wrong. And long-term Optimus, I think, achieves a valuation several times that number. I want to thank the Tesla team for strong execution and looking forward to exciting years ahead.
Great. Thank you very much, Elon. And Vaibhav has opening remarks as well.
Thanks. As Elon mentioned, the Tesla team rose to the occasion yet again and delivered on all fronts with some notable records. In addition to those records, we saw our automotive deliveries go sequentially. I would like to thank the entire Tesla team for their efforts in delivering a great quarter. On the auto business front, affordability remains a top of mind for customers, and in response, in Q2, we offered attractive financing options to offset sustained high interest rates. These programs had an impact on revenue per unit in the quarter. These impacts will persist into Q3 as we have already launched similar programs. We're now offering extremely competitive financing rates in most parts of the world. This is the best time to buy a Tesla. I mean, if you're waiting on the sidelines, come out and get your car. We had a record quarter on regulatory credits, revenues, and as well. On net, our auto margins remained flat sequentially. It is important to note that the demand for regulatory credits is dependent on other OEMs' plans for the kind of vehicles they're manufacturing and selling, as well as changes in regulations. We pride ourselves to be the company with the most American-made cars and are continuing our journey to further localize our supply chain, not just in the US, but in Europe and China, as well for the respective factories. As always, our focus is on providing the most compelling products at a reasonable price. We have stepped up our efforts to provide more trims that have estimated range of more than 300 miles on a single charge. We believe this, along with the expansion of our supercharging network, is the right strategy to combat range anxiety. Since the revision of FSD pricing in North America, we've seen adoption rates increase meaningfully and expect this to be a driver of vehicle sales as the feature set improves further. Cost per vehicle declined sequentially when we remove the impact of Cybertruck. While we are experiencing material costs trending down, note that there is latency on the cost side, and such reductions would show up in the P&L when the vehicles built with these materials get delivered. Additionally, as we get into the second half of the year, it is important to note that we are still ramping Cybertruck and Model 3 and are also getting impacted by varying amounts of tariffs on both raw materials and finished goods. While our teams are working feverishly to offset these, unfortunately, it may have an impact on the cost in the near term. We previously talked about the potential of the energy business and now feel excited that the foundation that was laid over time is bearing the expected results. Energy storage deployments more than doubled, with contribution not just from Megapack, but also Powerwall, resulting in record revenues and profit for the energy business. An energy storage backlog is strong. As discussed before, deployments will fluctuate from period to period, with some quarters seeing large increases and others seeing a decline. Recognition of storage gigawatt hours is dependent on a variety of factors, including logistics timing, as we send units from a single factory to markets across the world, customer readiness, and in case of EPC projects on construction activities. Moving on to the other parts of the business, service and other gross profits also improved sequentially from the improvement in service utilization and growth in our collision repair business. The impact of our recent reorg is reflected in restructuring and other on the income statement. Just to level set, this was about $622 million of charge, which got recorded in the period. And I want people to remember that we've called it out separately on the financials. Sequentially, our operating expenses, excluding such charges, reduced despite an increase in spend for AI-related activities and higher legal and other costs. On the CapEx front, while we saw a sequential decline in Q2, we still expect the year to be over 10 billion in CapEx as we increase our spend to bring a 50K GPU cluster online. This new cluster will immensely increase our capabilities to scale FSD and other AI initiatives. We reverted to positive free cash flow of 1.3 billion in Q2. This was despite restructuring payments being made in the quarter, and we ended the quarter with over 30 billion of cash and investments. Once again, we've begun the journey towards the next phase for the company, with the building blocks being placed. It will take some time, but will be a rewarding experience for everyone involved. Once again, I would like to thank the entire Tesla team for their efforts.
Great. Thank you very much, Vaibhav. Now let's go to investor questions. The first question is, what is the status on the Roadster?
With respect to the Roadster, we've completed most of the engineering, and I think there's still some upgrades we want to make to it, but we expect to be in production with the Roadster next year.
Great.
It'll be something special, like a Hall of Famer, I think.
Fantastic. The next question is about timing of robotaxi event, which we've already covered. So we'll go to the next question. When do you expect the first robotaxi ride?
I guess that's really just a question of when do I expect the first, when can we do unsupervised full self-driving? It's difficult, obviously, my predictions on this have been overly optimistic in the past. So, I mean, based on the current trend, it seems as though we should get miles between interventions to be high enough that it should be far enough in excess of humans that you could do unsupervised possibly by the end of this year. I would be shocked if we cannot do it next year. So next year seems highly probable to me based on simply plus the points of the curve of miles between intervention. That trend exceeds humans for sure next year. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Our third question is, the Cybertruck is an iconic product that wows everyone who sees it. Do you have plans to expand the Cyber vehicle lineup to a Cyber SUV or Cyber van?
I think we want to limit product announcements to when we have a specific product announcement event rather than earnings calls.
Great, thank you. Our next question is, what is the current status of 4680 battery cell production and how is the ramp up progressing?
Yeah. 4680 production ramped strongly in Q2, delivering 51% more cells than Q1, while reducing COGS significantly. We currently produce more than 1,400 Cybertrucks of 4680 cells per week, and we'll continue to ramp output as we drive costs down further towards the cost parity target we set for the end of the year. We've built our first validation Cybertruck with dry cathode process made on our mass production equipment, which is a huge technical milestone, and we're super proud of that. We're on track for production launch with dry cathode in Q4, and this will enable cell costs to be significantly below available alternatives, which was the original goal of the 4680 program.
Great.
Thank you very much. The next question is, any update on Dojo?
Yeah, so Dojo, I should preface this by saying I'm incredibly impressed by NVIDIA's execution and the capability of their hardware. And what we are seeing is that the demand for NVIDIA hardware is so high that it's often difficult to get the GPUs. And there just seems this, I guess I'm quite concerned about actually being able to get state-of-the-art NVIDIA GPUs when we want them. And I think this therefore requires that we put a lot more effort on Dojo in order to ensure that we've got the training capability that we need. So we are going to double down on Dojo, and we do see a path to being competitive with NVIDIA with Dojo. And I think we kind of have no choice because the demand for NVIDIA is so high, and it's obviously their obligation essentially to raise the price of GPUs to whatever the market will bear, which is very high. So I think we've really got to make Dojo work, and we will.
Great. The next question is, what type of accessories will be offered with Optimus?
Optimus is intended to be a generalized humanoid robot with a lot of intelligence. So it's like saying, what kind of accessories will be offered with a human? It's just really intended to be able to be backwards compatible with human tasks. So it would, use any accessories that a human would use. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is, do you feel you're cheating people out of the joys of owning a Tesla by not advertising?
We're doing some advertising. So,
Yeah,
want to say something?
yeah, I'll say something. Our fundamental belief is that we need to be providing the best products at a reasonable price to the consumers. Just to give you a fact, in US alone in Q2, over 2/3 of our sales deliveries were to people who had never owned a Tesla before, and which is encouraging. We've spent money on advertising and other awareness programs, and we have adjusted our strategy. We're not saying no to advertising, but this is a dynamic play, and we know that we have not exhausted all our options, and therefore plan to keep adjusting in the later half of this year as well.
Great, thank you very much. The next question is on energy growth, which we already covered in opening remarks. So we'll move on to the next one. What is the updated timeline for Giga Mexico, and what will be the primary vehicles produced initially?
Well, we currently are paused on Giga Mexico. I think we need to see just where things stand after the election. Trump has said that he will put heavy tariffs on vehicles produced in Mexico. So it doesn't make sense to invest a lot in Mexico if that is going to be the case. So we kind of need to see where things play out politically. However, we are increasing capacity at our existing factories quite significantly. And I should say that the cyber taxi, robotaxi, will be produced here at our headquarters at Giga, Texas.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, as will Optimus towards the end of next year for Optimus production version 2. The high volume version of Optimus will also be produced here in Texas.
Great, thank you. Just a couple more. Is Tesla still in talks with an OEM to license FSD?
There are a few major OEMs that have expressed interest in licensing Tesla Full Self-Driving, and I suspect there will be more over time, but we can't comment on the details of those discussions.
All right, thank you. And the last one, any updates on investing in xAI and integrating Grok into Tesla software?
I should say that Tesla is learning quite a bit from xAI. It's been actually helpful in advancing Full Self-Driving and in building up the new Tesla data center. Regarding investing in xAI, I think we'd need to have a shareholder approval of any such investment. But I'm certainly supportive of that if shareholders are. But I think we need a vote on that. And I think that there are opportunities to integrate Grok into Tesla software. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. And now we will move on to analyst questions. The first question comes from Will Stein from Truist. Will, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Great. Thanks so much for taking my question. And this relates a little bit to the last one that was asked. Elon, I share your strong enthusiasm about AI, and I recognize Tesla's opportunity to do some great things with the technology. But there are some concerns I have about Tesla's commercialization, and that's what I'd like to ask about. Specifically, there were some news stories through the quarter that indicated that you redirected some AI compute systems that were destined for Tesla instead to XAI, or perhaps it was to X, I'm not sure. And similarly, a few quarters ago, if you recall, I asked about your ability to hire engineers in this area, and you noted that there was a great desire for some of these engineers to work on projects that you were involved with, but some of them weren't at Tesla. They were instead at XAI, or perhaps even X again. So the question is, when it comes to your capital investments, your AI R&D, your AI engineers, how do you make allocation decisions among these various ventures, and how do you make Tesla owners comfortable that you're doing it in a way that really benefits them? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're referring to a very like an old article regarding GPUs. I think that's like 6 or 7 months old. Tesla said we had no place to turn them on. So it would have been a waste of Tesla capital, because we would just have to order H100s and have no place to turn them on. So it was just, this wasn't a, let's pick XAI over Tesla. There was no, the Tesla data centers were full. There was no place to actually put them. We've been working 24/7 to complete the south extension on the Tesla Gigafactory here in Texas. That south extension is what will house the 50,000 H100s, and we're beginning to move the H100 server racks into place there. But we needed that to be complete physically. You can't just order GPUs and turn them on with no. You need a data center. It's not possible. So I want to be clear, that was in Tesla's interest, not contrary to Tesla's interest. Does Tesla no good to have GPUs that can't turn on? The split second that south extension is able to take GPUs, which is really just this week. We are moving GPUs in there, and we'll bring them online. With regard to XAI, there are people that only want to work on AGI. So what I was finding was that when trying to recruit people to Tesla, they were only interested in working on AGI, not Tesla specific problems, and they want to do a startup. So it was a case of either they go to a startup, or and I'm involved, or they do a startup and I'm not involved. Those are the two choices. This wasn't they would come to Tesla. They were not going to come to Tesla under any circumstances. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would even add that, AI is a broad spectrum, and there are a lot of things which, we are focused on full self-driving as Tesla and also Optimus. But there's the other spectrum of AI which we're not working on, and that's the kind of work which other companies are trying to do, in this case, XAI. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's a broad spectrum. It's not just one specific thing.
Yeah, and once again, I want to just repeat myself here. I tried to recruit them to Tesla, including to say, like, you can work on AGI if you want, and they refused. Only then was XAI created.
I really appreciate that clarification. If I can ask one follow-up, it relates to the new vehicles that you're planning to introduce next year. I understand this is not the venue for product announcements, but when we think about the focus, I've heard on the one hand that the focus is on cost reduction. On the other hand, you also said that the Roadster would come out. Should we expect other, maybe more limited variants, like similar to the cars that you make today, but with some changes or improvements or different, some other variability in the form factors? Should we expect that to be a significant part of the strategy in the next year or two?
I don't want to get into the details of product announcements, and we have to be careful of the Osborne effect here. So, if you start announcing some great thing, it affects our near-term sales. We're going to make great products in the future, just like we have in the past. And a story.
Great. The next question comes from Ben Kallo from Baird. Ben, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. When we think about revenue contribution and with energy growing so quickly and, Optimus on the come, how do we think about, the overall segments longer term? And then do you think that auto revenue will fall below 50% of your overall revenue? And then my follow-up is just on the last call, you talked about distributed compute on your new hardware. Could you just update us and talk a little bit more about that, the timeline for it, and how you would reward customers for letting you use their compute power in their cars? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said a few times, I think the long-term value of Optimus will exceed that of everything else at Tesla combined. So it's simply, if you simply consider the usefulness, utility of a humanoid robot that can do pretty much anything you ask of it, I think everyone on Earth is going to want one. There's 8 billion people on Earth, so that's 8 billion right there. Then you've got all of the industrial uses, which is probably at least as much, if not way more. So I suspect that the long-term demand for general-purpose humanoid robots is in excess of 20 billion units. And Tesla has the most advanced humanoid robot in the world, and is also very good at manufacturing, which these other companies are not. And we've got a lot of experience the most experience with the world leaders in real-world AI. So we have all of the ingredients. I think we're unique in having all of the ingredients necessary for large-scale, high-utility, generalized humanoid robots. That's why, my rough estimate long-term is in accordance with the ARK Invest analysis of, a market cap of on the order of 5 trillion for, maybe more for autonomous transport. And it's several times that number for general purpose humanoid robots. I mean, at that point, I'm not sure what money even means. But in the benign AI scenario, we're headed for an age of abundance, where there is no shortage of goods and services. Anyone can have pretty much anything they want. It's a very wild future we're headed for.
On the distributed compute.
Yeah, distributed compute. That seems like a pretty obvious thing to do. I think where the distributed compute becomes interesting is with our next generation Tesla AI chip, which is Hardware 5, or what we're calling AI 5, which is from the standpoint of inference capability comparable to a B200, an NVIDIA B200. And we're aiming to have that in production at the end of next year and scale production in 26. So it just seems like even if you've got autonomous vehicles that are operating for 50 or 60 hours a week, there's 168 hours in a week. So you have somewhere above, I think, 100 neural net computing. I think we need a better word than GPU, because GPU means graphics processing unit. So there's 100 hours plus per week of AI compute, AI inference compute from the fleet, from the vehicles, and probably some percentage from the humanoid robots, that it would make sense to do distributed inference. And if there's a fleet of, at some point, 100 million vehicles with AI 5 and beyond, because you have AI 6 and 7 and whatnot, and there may be billions of humanoid robots, that is just a staggering amount of inference compute that could be used for general purpose computing. It doesn't have to be used for the humanoid robot or for the car. So I think, that's a pretty obvious thing to say, like, well, it's more useful than having to do nothing.
All right, thank you. The next question comes from Alex Potter from Piper. Alex, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Perfect, thanks. Wanted to ask a question on FSD licensing. You mentioned that in passing previously. Was just wondering if you can elaborate maybe on the mechanics of how that would work. I guess presumably this would not be some sort of simple plug and play proposition. That presumably an OEM would need, I don't know, several years to develop its own vehicle platform that's based on FSD. I imagine they would need to adopt Tesla's electrical architecture, compute, sensor stack. So correct me if I'm sort of misunderstanding this, but if you had a cooperative agreement of some kind with another OEM, then presumably it would take you several years before you'd be able to recognize licensing revenue from that agreement. Is that the right way to think about that?
Yes. The OEMs do not move fast. There's not really a sensor suite. It's just cameras. But they would have to integrate our AI computer and have cameras with a 360-degree view. And at least the gateway, like what talks to the internet and communicates with the Tesla system, with that, you need kind of a gateway computer too. So it's really a gateway computer with cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity, the Tesla AI computer, and 7 cameras, or enough cameras to get a 360-degree view. But this will, given the speed at which the auto industry moves, it would be several years before you would see this in volume.
Okay, good. That's more or less what I expected. So then the follow-up here is, if you did sign an FSD licensing agreement with another automaker, when do you think you would disclose that? Would you do it right when you sign the agreement, or only after that multiple years has passed and the vehicle is ready to be rolled out?
I think it depends on the OEM. I guess we'd be happy either way.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of arrangement we enter into. A lot of those things we've not ironed those out yet. So we'll make that determination as and when we get to that point.
Okay. And the kind of deals that are obviously relevant are only if some OEM is willing to do this in 1 million cars a year or something significant. It's not if it's like 10,000 or 100,000 cars a year. We could just make that ourselves.
All right, thank you. The next question comes from Dan Levi from Barclays. Dan, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for taking the questions. First, wanted to start with a question on Shanghai. You've leveraged Shanghai as an export center, really due to its low cost, and that makes sense. Maybe you can just give us a sense of how the strategy changes, if at all, given the implementation of tariffs in Europe. Also, to what extent your import of batteries from China into the US, how that might change given the tariffs. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I covered some part of it in my opening remarks, but just to give you a little bit more, just on the tariff side, the European authorities did sample certain other OEMs in the first round to establish the tariffs for cars being imported from China into Europe. While we were not picked up in our individual examination in the first round, they did pick us up in the second round. They visited our factory, we worked with them, provided them all the information. As a result, we are adjusting our import strategy out of China into Europe. One other thing to note is in Q2 itself, we started building right-hand Model Ys out of Berlin, and we also delivered it in UK. And, we're adjusting as needed, but, we will keep adjusting. We're still importing Model 3s into Europe out of Shanghai. And, we are still evaluating what is the best alternate to manage all this. Just on the examination by the European authorities, like I said, we cooperated with them well. We are confident that we should get a better rate than what they have imposed for now. But this is literally evolving, and we are adjusting as fast as we can with this. It is. I would also add that, because of this, you've seen the impact that Berlin is doing more imports into places like Taiwan, as well as, UK I just mentioned. So it will keep changing, and we will keep adapting as we go about it.
Great, thanks. Yeah, thank you. As a follow-up, I wanted to ask about the robotaxi strategy, and specifically the shareholder deck here notes that the release is going to be one of the gating factors is regulatory approval. So maybe you could help us understand, which regulations specifically are the ones that we should be looking for. Is it FMVSS that's standard? And then, to what extent does the strategy shift? You've done with FSD more of a nationwide, no boundary approach. Is the robotaxi approach one that's more geofence, so to speak, and is more driven by a state-by-state approach?
I mean, our solution is a generalized solution, unlike what everybody else has. If you see it like Waymo and whatnot, they have a very localized solution that requires high density mapping. It's quite fragile. So, their ability to expand rapidly is limited. Our solution is a general solution that works anywhere. It would even work on a different Earth. So if you rendered a new Earth, it would work on a new Earth. So there's capability. I think in our experience, once we demonstrate that something is safe enough or significantly safer than human, we find that regulators are supportive of deployment of that capability. It's difficult to argue with if you've got a large number of, if you've got billions of miles that show that in the future unsupervised FSD is safer than human. What regulator could really stand in the way of that? They're morally obligated to approve. So I don't think regulatory approval will be a limiting factor. I should also say that the self-driving capabilities that are deployed outside of North America are far behind that in North America. So with version 12.5 and maybe 12.6, but pretty soon we will ask for regulatory approval of the Tesla supervised FSD in Europe, China, and other countries. And I think we're likely to receive that before the end of the year.
Thank you.
Which will be a helpful demand driver in those regions, obviously.
Thank you.
Just to add to that, Travis, in terms of as Elon said, in terms of regulatory approval, the vehicles are governed by FMVSS in the US, which is NHTSA, which is the same across all 50 states. The road rules are the same across all 50 states. So creating a generalized solution gives us the best opportunity to deploy in all 50 states reasonably. Of course, there are state and even local municipal level regulations that may apply to, being a transportation company or deploying taxis. But, as far as getting the vehicle on the road, that's all federal, and that's very much in line with what, Elon was just suggesting about the data and the vehicle itself.
And to add to the technology point, the end-to-end network basically makes no assumption about the location. Like you could add data from different countries and it would just like perform equally well there. There's like almost like close to zero US specific code in there. It's all just the data that comes from the US.
Yeah, to that end, Ashok, it's like, we can go as humans to other countries and drive with some reasonable amount of assessment in those countries. And that's how you design the FSD software.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, thanks, guys. The next question comes from George from Canaccord. George, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking my questions. Maybe just to expand on the regulatory question for a second, and I could be comparing apples and oranges, but GM canceled their pedalless, wheelless vehicle. And according to the company this morning, their decision was driven by uncertainty about the regulatory environment. And from what we understand, and again, maybe I'm wrong here, but the robo-taxi that has been shown, at least in images of the public, is also pedalless and wheelless. Is there a different regulatory concern just if you deploy a vehicle like that doesn't have pedals or a wheel, and that may be different from just regular FSD on a traditional Tesla vehicle? Thank you.
Well, obviously, the real reason that they canceled it is because GM can't make it work, not because of regulators. They're blaming regulators. That's misleading of them to do so, because Waymo is doing just fine in those markets. So it's just that their technology is not up to par.
Right. And maybe just as a follow-up, I think you mentioned that FSD take rates were up materially after you reduced the price. Is there any way you can help us quantify what that means exactly? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we've shared we've seen a meaningful increase. I don't want to get into specific because we started from a low base, but we are seeing encouraging results. And the key thing here is, like Elon said, you need to experience it because words can't describe it till the time we actually use it. And that's why we are trying to make sure that every time a car is getting delivered, people are being showed how this thing is working, because when you see it working, you realize how great it is. I mean, just to give you one example, so again, there's a biased example, but I have a more than 20-mile commute into the factory almost every day. I have zero interventions on the latest stack, and the car just literally drives me over. And especially with the latest version, wherein we're also tracking your eye movement, the steering wheel nag is almost not there, as long as you're not wearing sunglasses.
Well, we're fixing the sunglasses thing. It's coming soon. So you will be able to drive. You'll be able to have sunglasses on and have the car drive.
Yeah.
But there's a fair number of times I've talked with smart people who like live in New York or maybe downtown Boston and don't ever drive, and then are asking me about FSD. And I'm like, you can just get a car and try it. If you're not doing that, you have no idea what's going on.
Thank you. The next question comes from Pierre from New Street. Pierre, please unmute yourself.
Hey guys, thank you for taking my question. So it's on robotaxi again, and I completely get it that with a universal solution, we will get like regulatory approval. We get there eventually, clicking up miles and compute, etc. And my question is more, how you think about deployments? Because I'm thinking once you have a car that can drive everywhere, that can replace me. It can replace a taxi, but then to do the ride-hailing service, you need a certain scale. And that means a lot of cars on the road, and so you need an infrastructure to just maintain the cars, take care of them, etc. And so my question is, are you already working on that? Do you have already an idea of what like your plan to deploy looks like? And is that like a Tesla only plan, or are you looking at partners, local partners, global partners to do that? And I'll have a quick follow-up.
No, this would just be the Tesla network. You just literally open the Tesla app and summon a car, and we send a car to pick you up and take you somewhere. We'll have a fleet that's, I don't know, on the order of 7 million that are capable of autonomy soon. In the years to come, it'll be over 10 million, then over 20 million. This is immense scale. And the car is able to operate 24/7, unlike the human driver. So the capability to, like, there's this basically instant scale with a software update. And now this is for a customer-owned fleet. So you can think of that as being a bit like Airbnb. Like, you can choose to allow your car to be used by the fleet, or cancel that and bring it back. It can be used by the fleet all the time. It can be used by the fleet some of the time, and then Tesla would share in the revenue with the customer. But you can think of the giant fleet of Tesla vehicles as like the giant sort of Airbnb equivalent fleet, Airbnb on wheels. Then in addition, we would make some number of cars for Tesla that would just be owned by Tesla and be added to the fleet. I guess that would be a bit more like Uber. But this would all be the Tesla network. And there's an important clause we've put in every Tesla purchase, which is that the Tesla vehicles can only be used in the Tesla fleet. They cannot be used by a third party for autonomy.
Okay. And do you think that scales like progressively, so you can start in a city with just a handful of cars and you grow the number of cars over time? Or do you think there is like a critical mass you need to get to be able to offer like a service that is of competitive quality compared to what like Uber would be typically delivering already?
I guess maybe I'm not conveying this correctly. The entire Tesla fleet basically becomes active. This is obviously, maybe there's some number of people who don't want their car to earn money, but I think most people will. It's instant scale.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Colin from Oppenheimer. Colin, please unmute yourself.
Sorry about that, guys. I've got two questions around energy storage. With the tight supply and the stationary storage, can you talk about your pricing strategy and how you're thinking about saturation in given geographies, given that some of these larger systems are starting to shift wholesale power markets in a pretty meaningful way quickly?
So we are working with a large set of players in the market, and our pipeline is actually pretty long, and there's actually a long end in terms of where you enter into a contract to where delivery starts happening. And so far we have good pricing leverage, and I'll have Mike chime in on this too.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition from Chinese OEMs, just like there is in the vehicle space. So we're in close contact with our customers and making sure that we're remaining competitive in where they're needing to be competitive to secure contracts to sell power and energy in the markets. We had a really strong contracting quarter and continue to build our backlog for 2025 and 2026. So we feel pretty good about where we are in the market. We realize that competition is strong, but we have a pretty strong value proposition with offering a fully integrated product with our own power electronics and site level controls. So
yeah, and again, the aspect which people do not fully understand is that there's also a whole software stack which comes with our Megapack.
Right.
And that is a unique proposition which we have, which is only available to us. And we're using it with other stuff too, but that gives us a much more of an edge as compared to the competition.
Yeah, we find customers that they can sort of put together a hodgepodge solution, and then sometimes they'll pick that solution, and then that doesn't work, and then they come back to us.
Yeah, and we're not really seeing saturation for, like, on a global scale. There's little pockets of saturation in different markets, but we're more seeing that there's markets opening up given demand on the grid just continues to increase more than anyone expects. So that just opens up markets, really across the world in different pockets.
Yeah, I mean, just even on the AI compute side, right? These GPUs are really power hungry, and the amount of new pipeline which we're getting for people for data center backup and things like that is increasing at a pretty large scale.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. And then the follow-up here is around the 4680 process technology, and the roll-to-roll process. There's some news around your equipment suppliers. Can you talk about how far along you are in potentially qualifying an incremental supplier around some of those critical process technology steps?
Yeah, I can talk about that. As you're probably referring to the lawsuit that we have with one of our suppliers. Look, I don't think this is going to affect our ability to roll out 4680. We have very strong IP position in the technology, and the majority of the equipment that we use is in-house designed, and some of it's in-house built. And so we can take our IP stack and have someone else build it if we need to. So that's not really a concern right now.
Yeah, I think people don't understand just how much demand there will be for grid storage. They really just, like, the people, I think, are underestimating this demand by probably orders of magnitude. So that the actual total energy output of, say, the US grid is, if the power plants can operate at steady state, is at least 2 to 3 times the amount of energy it currently produces. Because there are huge gaps. There's a huge difference in the from peak to trough in terms of energy or power generation. So in order for a grid to not have blackouts, it must be able to support the load at the worst minute of the worst day of the year, the coldest or hottest day, which means that for the rest of the time, the rest of the year, it's got massive excess power generation capability, but it has no way to store that energy. Once you add battery packs, you can now run the power plants at steady state. Steady state means that basically any given grid anywhere in the world can produce, in terms of cumulative energy in the course of a year, at least twice what it is currently producing. In some cases, maybe 3 times.
All right, thank you.
This is a very profound thing.
Great. Thank you, Elon. The next question comes from Colin Langan from Wells Fargo. Colin, please unmute yourself.
Oh, great. Thanks for taking my questions. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry. I guess we're going to ask, if Trump wins, there's a higher chance that IRA could get cut. I think, Elon, you had commented online that Tesla doesn't survive on EV subsidies. But when Tesla lose a lot of support, if IRA goes away, I think Model 3 and Y get IRA help for customers, and I think your batteries get production tax credits. So just one, can you clarify if IRA ends, would it be a negative for your profitability in the near term? Why might it not be a negative? And then, any framing of the current, support you get IRA related.
I guess that there would be like some impact, but I think it would be devastating for our competitors, but and it would hurt Tesla slightly. But long term probably actually helps Tesla. That would be my guess. Yeah. But and I've said this before on earnings calls. The value of Tesla overwhelmingly is autonomy. These other things are in the noise relative to autonomy. So I recommend anyone who doesn't believe that Tesla will solve vehicle autonomy should not hold Tesla stock. They should sell their Tesla stock. If you believe Tesla will solve autonomy, you should buy Tesla stock. And all these other questions are in the noise.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add this just to clarify a few things, that at the end of the day, when we are looking at our business, we've always been looking at it whether or not IRA is there. And we want our business to grow healthy without having any, subsidies coming in, whichever way you look at it. And that's the way we have always modeled everything. And that is the way internally also, even when we're looking at battery costs, yes, there are manufacturing credits which we get, but we always drive ourselves to say, okay, what if there's no IRA benefit? And how do we operate in that kind of an environment? And like Elon said, we definitely have a big advantage as compared to our competition on that front. We've delivered it, and you can see it in the numbers over the years. So there is, you cannot ignore the fundamental sides of the business. And then on top of it, once you add autonomy to it, like Elon said, it becomes meaningless to even think about the short term.
Okay. I think that's unfortunately all the time we have for today. We appreciate all of your questions. We look forward to talking to you next quarter. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Thanks, man.
Well. Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot to take in, but man, he sounded very, very tired. He sounded extremely tired. Okay, so let's quickly go over some of the stuff. I gotta go review this, make a video for tomorrow. But let's go review some stuff. I will go ahead and pull up whatever big things he said. I've put it on my X. I'm just tweeting or Xing all day, all the time. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Which one is it? Is it X? Yeah, there we go. You guys can see it. Cool. So, no, I'm not shocked. I'm not really shocked. I've been in this since 2020, and I've seen all the ups. I've seen all the downs. So yeah. No, I'm not sad, dude. I mean, I've been live streaming for almost 3 hours, getting a little bit tired, but I am pumped, kind of. Let's go over some of the stuff. I'm actually happy that the stock's going down. I want to buy more. So where do we start? You guys have seen it. So first things first, he said, is Robotaxi event has been confirmed for October 10th. So a couple months. So it looks like that rumor from Bloomberg, it was correct. I don't know who leaked it, but yeah, that's that. So then he confirms that then he confirms that there's several optimists will have, I'm just gonna read the whole thing, man. Elon confirms to have several thousands of Optimus bots working in Tesla's factory by end of next year, which several would mean more than I would expect 3 or 4, right? So let's say 5,000. I mean, that would be insane if we have that. That'd be insane. I know Amazon has 750,000, but they're not AGI, right? They're not AGI. These guys are going to be AGI. So it's a big difference. Then he says, then he says that Optimus bots will start production in 2026, and then he'll be able to sell to customers. I mean, oh boy, then the stock went down 5%. I'm definitely going to buy more shares, and I am going to buy more shares if it goes in the low 200s or below 200 for sure. So that's that. Elon. Then Elon says the new Tesla Megapack Shanghai factory will triple output. Wow, that would mean if it's 3 billion, then that would be 9 billion, and Lathrop is still growing. That's crazy. That means by end of next year, we could probably see energy, on an annual basis, over 20 billion in revenue, which is just crazy when you just think about it. And if you give that, let's say, a 20%, that's a 4 billion. Wow. That's like almost 50% of total 2024's earnings, like the whole year, just coming from energy. That's just incredible. Then he talked about the Roadster coming next year. Now, there was rumors they're going to come this year, but it looks like that's been pushed now. It looks like robotaxi is more important right now, which makes sense. Then he says that the unsupervised FSD will potentially. Did I make a typo here? Elon Musk says unsupervised FSD will potentially be ready by end of this year. Yeah, I typed though. I messed up. No later than next year. True. I mean, that's Elon saying. Let's see what he says. And then I asked you guys a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this earnings Q2 call? You guys can actually comment here. What do you guys think from 1 to 10? What would you rate this? Right? Elon says Tesla needs to compete. Now, this was huge news, and I'm just like, wow. He says that Tesla needs to compete with NVIDIA, with Dojo. That's a big sheesh moment. Chips, I mean, if Tesla can get in the chip game and actually get a good amount of market share, that's a lot of margin. And we also went to NVIDIA stock, so that's crazy. Then the stock went down. I think right now it's at 7% or something like that, negative 7%. So that's fine. Well, most people are not going to say that's fine, but man, I was actually expecting for this quarter to be like a nice jump back up, but I guess it is what it is. Then he talked about Giga Mexico, which was a little bit interesting. He said that, look, it's on pause right now after the US election. If Trump gets elected and puts tariffs on Mexico, then maybe it may not be the best idea to build there. And then he went and said that robotaxi and Optimus will be produced in Giga Texas. Yeah. So I did not see that coming. So that was interesting. But if Elon is supporting Trump and Trump likes Elon, I'm sure they can come up with an agreement. Let's see how that pans out. He sounds very exhausted. He does sound very exhausted for sure. Elon says Tesla will announce an FSD licensing deal if the deal is significant, like if it's millions of vehicles being licensed FSD with other automakers. So that's for sure. All right. Then he says that Elon Musk says Tesla FSD supervised will get regulatory approval in other countries outside of the US, China, by end of this year. And in China, I do believe that because they're doing so many things are going on there. And once that happens and they do get that, and then people can opt in for the FSD, we can see another income source for Tesla very easily. And that's going to be added into the valuation, in the income statement, which will then be added to the valuation of Wall Street and all that kind of stuff. So that's very important. Then he quotes saying that Tesla Robotaxi will be like Airbnb on wheels. That's what he says. And then I just tweet this now that Elon says, sell your Tesla stock if you don't think Tesla will solve autonomy. And you guys can see negative 7%. So there were some other things going. I think I missed a few things. Let me see if we can find them out. Yeah, it's just the recent stuff. I got to go back and read it, all that kind of stuff. So that's what he said. Overall, it was actually, now, thinking about it now, I think let's take that away. I think the earnings was good. Earnings call was a little bit downbeat. It wasn't upbeat. Elon sounded very tired. He kept repeating a lot of the same stuff that he's always been saying. So, good thing is he did say robotaxis on August 10th. Let me take this off. We don't need this anymore. So that's also being reiterated. We got more clarity on Optimus bots, which that was interesting. But one thing I want to mention to you guys is that did you guys notice how long term these guys are thinking? Right? They weren't talking anything about next quarter or anything. And if they were just talking about, the full self-driving in China, the energy, all that kind of stuff, which is good. But majority of it, which is the autonomy part, which is the reason why I'm all in Tesla stock, was a long-term thing. And that's what you need to be as a Tesla investor long-term. You got to be able to just think long-term and not get panicked with all the, God damn it, spider here. Sorry, guys. Hate spiders. Get away. All right, cool. It's gone. Sorry. Got a little distracted. I hate spiders with a passion, man. Sorry. So you gotta be able to think long term with these things, right? I mean, for example, look at my T-shirt that just came in like a couple days ago. Just take a look at this. I've been buying. Where is it? Like since early 2020, right? So I was here. I bought here, right? But I know a lot of people who bought back here. You could call it 2015, 16, whatever, and they just kept dollar cost averaging. And guys, by the way, here was 2018, 2017, or 2019, where the thing was about to go bankrupt, and people were buying, right? That was the worst time for anyone to be a Tesla investor, but that was the best time to buy, right? And nobody saw it coming afterwards, right? Nobody saw this big jump coming afterwards, right? So, but I've been buying since here all the way, well, since now, actually. I bought yesterday, right? So it's a long-term thing. And what matters, oh my God, it's back. What matters is share count, right? People go like, oh, my average is 200, my average is 300, my average is 400. Look, if you can get as many shares as you possibly can, and you know that in the long term, it's not going to matter, and the stock's going to be worth, let's say, by 2030, I don't know, my price target at that time or my valuation for Tesla at that time is around 1,500. I know ARK is saying at that time it's like over like 3,000 or whatever, but I mean, I got to add that with the robotaxi, and when I add that in my valuation with the robotaxi, I get a whole different number. I get over 2,000 by 2030, not by 2027, 2028, but I have it at 1,500 around there, and I will be updating it after these earnings. Just want to make sure that everything is coming the way that I think it's coming, so I can be more accurate. I mean, it doesn't really matter at that time, but again, I want to be more certain with my estimates. But what matters is that you have a lot of share count, and at that price by 2030, if it's like 2,000, whatever you think, that's what matters. That's what absolutely matters. And we have Mark here. He bought Legend. He's a legend. $16.42. That I mean, I wish I bought at that price. Like a 10% drop or a 7% drop today doesn't you don't care. Like it doesn't matter to you because your average is the stock could fall 50% like it did in 2022, 2023. It's not gonna matter. You still 10x your money, which is insane. And the crazy part is that we're not even over. Like we're not even at that part yet, right? So we have to be able to be patient, look at the long-term scope, and just don't get emotional. Like, for example, in this earnings call, yes, bottom line, it was a miss, but then why was it a miss? We saw that Tesla, 600 million of the AI infrastructure went to investing or re-instructing. If that wasn't in, guys, and that was, you know, just not invested and kept in the net income, EPS would have been a beat, would have been over 66 or 68 cents. Would have been a big beat, a decent beat. But, Tesla doesn't care about these short-term things. Like, listen, can we invest today rather than tomorrow? Can we make money sooner than later with the investments we're going to make today? Yes. All right, so do it. Who cares about this quarter? The quarter's a quarter. Amazon, Jeff Bezos says, like, listen, quarter by quarter, who cares? We care about the long term. That's Tesla as well, right? So you just gotta, and yeah. Shout out to the Rock. He came up with that. He said, I can't believe I even missed that on the financials. That was that. So And this guy, he is a bear. He's a Tesla bear and a short, and he only crawls out of the hole when, there's red days. These past green days, he was really quiet, but now he's being vocal again. But, it's not going to plunge another 100 or below. What is it? You said following yet another plunge below 100, bro. If it goes below 100, man, I'm going to buy so much shares. That it's not even funny, right? So let's see. Pedji, do you still believe we will see? Yes, 350 into the year. Yep. Look, when I do my estimates, I'm not a Dan Ives, right? I'm not a Dan Ives. I'm not a Wall Street analyst that likes to chase the stock. If it goes up, we're going to increase the stock price. If it goes down, we're going to decrease the stock price because the stock's going down or the stock is going up. No, I sit there and I do the analysis based on metrics. Automatically, once we see interest rates going down, stock's going to go up. Tesla's going to be able to sell more cars. Wall Street's going to find that bullish and price that in. It's just economics, right? Forget this emotional stuff. It's just economics. It's just economics. So I do believe 350 is still by end of the year. I still believe that. I'm not going to be changing it regardless of whatever it is. So I'm sticking by that. In fact, I'm going to be tweeting that after this. I'll be saying that, 350 is still my price target. I ain't changing it. I'm not changing it. And I'm pretty confident about it because, look, the stock went from 140 to 250 within 2 weeks. This thing roars up quick. And when it roars up fast. It goes up fast. And so without any warning, without any heads up, without any notices, it just goes. And it could be the easiest, slightest news, right? It could be like, oh, energy doubled again. Or now we have FSD coming out. Or we have something, interest rate cuts or whatever it is. Right? It's anything. It could be instant. We could stay at these stock prices until December 15th. And then the last 15 days can just get rolled up to 350. You never know. We never know what this stock, which is why the best strategy with Tesla is play the long game and dollar cost average. That's it. And forget about it and forget the noise. Elon said it the best. Listen, if you're in the stock and you don't think Tesla is not going to solve autonomy, sell it and move on. The reason why I'm all in is because of autonomy. That's it. Not even of the bot, not even because of the energy. I know that once we have this full self-driving thing, it's gonna be revolutionary. It's generalized. Like just anywhere you go, you can use it, right? Whew. So I guess I'm passionate about this. Like, So that I do believe 350 by end of the year is still a thing. Will you be testing FSD video when you get a chance? Yeah, I'm actually going to talk with a guy who's about to get 12.5 here in Toronto, and I am harassing him. I know I shouldn't, but I am. So as soon as that's up, I'm going to be getting my cameras and stuff like that. I can go in and recording my first time sitting in a full self-driving car. Let's see how that's going to be. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, guys, comment down below. What do you guys think of this? Please smash that like button. Join, if you guys are on YouTube, right? Join the community. Like, for example, Mark did today, and he commented here as well. I sold 2.7x of my original investment. If it crashes to 0, if it crashes to what is that? 0 ahead? Tesla will never crash to 0, but I don't know if that's what you mean. But yeah, I just buy on hold. But yeah, just like how we joined, and Angie, you guys can join as well on YouTube. So we have supporting me. And I am thinking to bring Discord, but I got to figure out how we're going to do that. So I can give you guys the best value for money. And I know value for money is $2 a month. I get it. But still, I love you guys for supporting me, and I want to give back, Oh, you meant ahead. I'm ahead. Cool. True. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But love you all. Thank you guys so much. Smash that like button, guys. And I'll just see you guys in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Well, I'll be posting something later on today, but it's not me. It's just a summary of some stuff of the call. But I'll just see you guys tomorrow in an actual video. I love you guys so much. And yes, Isaac, I'm gonna get ready to buy more stock when it goes below or just below 200s. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on X for sure. I'm gonna go rest a bit. Love you guys. See you guys in the next video. See ya.